Hello, Danielita.
Hello, Coquito. How are you?
Ya empezamos, Danielita.
Parece que sí.
How are you, Danielita?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. A little bit late, but I put the burden on you to try a new zoom lens. Well,
Yeah.
not a new zoom lens, an old Tamron 2875 zoom lens that I had for my old Canon camera.
So like a new setup for.
Yeah, a little bit. Yesterday we tried another lens.
Mhm.
Today we have a zoom lens. We're not really going to use the zoom part of the lens, but we just want to make sure to see if it gives us any trouble or if it works well enough. So best way to try it out just during a live. So
Yeah.
but yeah, so we started a little late, but we apologize. But I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
How are you, Danielita?
I'm fine. Do you know what day is it? Because I'm
Today's
setting the.
Tuesday.
No.
Martes de Español.
Número.
I think it's the 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It's the 4th,
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to paint you today.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to try to push. I love your nose. I think that's one of the first things I ever said to you. Hi.
Hi, I love your nose.
Hi, my name is Nicolas. I love your nose. um, I must have, I probably felt it. I did.
But
I
I don't
probably
think
didn't
you.
say it.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
think
think
you said
I
it.
don't remember ever saying it,
No.
in those first days. Like eventually I told you like
Yeah,
your
well,
nose
but
is amazing, but
the first day would be like a little bit weird,
a little
maybe.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a fourth date uh thing to say.
Or like a first date, but not like the first day you saw me. Like,
Yeah.
hey, how are you? I'm Nicolas. I love your nose. Like,
Even if your nose was amazing, it would just be weird. It's like, why do we have to talk about my nose? Like, what is so weird about my nose to be talked about like right in the beginning? I would feel that. Like, okay, thank you, but what is it about my nose?
yeah,
It would be intriguing, though. I think there's a way in which you could say that wouldn't sound bad at all.
yeah.
It would sound cute. Like, anyways, I do love your nose. I love to
Thank
paint
you.
your nose. Um, and I'm gonna try to push the shape of your nose. So let's see
Cool.
if we can do that today. And I had to order a few paints,
Mhm.
tubes of paint, Danny, because I think
Yeah, you're
I'm
kind of running
almost,
out.
yeah, I'm running on fumes here. Yeah, my ochre is almost gone.
Mhm.
My white is almost gone. I think we're not doing well with the ultramarine, although there's some in there. That's
Mhm.
fine. Umber, I think we're doing fine. So I think I ordered white, definitely 2 tubes of white. I ordered I'm going to change it up a little bit. So,
Wow. What
yeah.
did you order then?
Yellow ochre, but yellow ochre pale. The Winsor Newton yellow ochre
Have you
pale.
tried it before?
Yeah, I've tried it. It's actually really good. It's a little bit brighter than yellow ochre.
Mhm.
And I think, because I think the last 2 years were a lot about experimentation, and I do love experimenting with paint.
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to doing as personal exercises, doing that thing that we did where we tried a bunch of palettes.
Yeah.
But I think that if I want to do something super solid,
Yeah.
I can't jump around my palette too much. I much rather just be very,
Like
very
comfortable
right, and
with
just
you.
drive home the idea that this is the palette that I'm working with.
Yeah.
These are the paintings that I can produce with these colors.
Yeah.
And I think today I've noticed that nowadays, I don't know if you've noticed too, but it is very trendy because I mean, all of art is trendy. So I'm not saying that nowadays we're more superficial than at other points in painting history, but I feel that there is an excitement about chroma
Mhm.
nowadays, like
Like super high chroma?
yeah, especially with
Yeah.
like figurative contemporary figurative painters.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chroma in the paintings. There's a lot of colors, and even many times these weird uh, fluorescent colors or pearlescent colors,
Yeah.
or just kind of strange hues,
Yeah.
that don't have to fall into those two categories. But um, and I always feel that it's interesting to me to try and see if I can also be that sort of painter. It's always, I think it's very human to say, "Oh, could I do that?" Like, "Oh, that looks interesting. Let me give that a shot." I think that's fine. I think doing those things is just super super human.
Mhm.
Especially if the people that do paintings with those colors do amazing
Yeah.
paintings. Like you're always going to be like, "Oh, I want to try that out." But I think I'm not going to say that I've tried a ton of, I've tried all of the options out there out, but I think we made a healthy, I think with um the exercises we did the past 2 years,
Yeah.
I think we did like a
Quite a
healthy,
bit, yeah.
yeah, our healthy share of experimenting with broader palettes.
Yeah.
Let's not call it like a super broad palette.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's a lot of colors still that a lot of people use that we never even like conceived of using.
Yeah, but like knowing what we had,
Yeah,
we like you experimented a lot. So,
yeah, quite a bit.
yeah.
So I think that for the work that I want to do from, I'm not gonna say from now on, like till end of times,
Mhm.
but I think I'm gonna go back to my kind of wonderfully boring gray palette.
No, it's not
It's
boring.
beautiful. I know I said wonderfully boring. I
Mhm.
think it's an amazing palette. I love it
Mhm.
to bits. And so instead of, I do love this bismuth yellow, and I've considered just having it on my palette. And I know that maybe for some people it's like, what's the big deal? Just put it on your palette and just be done with it. You don't even have to discuss this. Like, this shouldn't even be a matter of conversation.
Mhm.
But for me, it is. Like, these are the important things to me in painting. So I want to see if I can not need this color. I mean, I can't replace it with a yellow ochre pale, of course.
Mhm.
But what I'm gonna do is kind of split these instead of having these two.
Mhm.
I'm kind of splitting the difference a little bit. So what that means is like I'll have a yellow ochre pale instead of this,
Mhm.
and I think I'm gonna have. Well, I ordered it already, so I'm gonna start using raw sienna, which is very weird. I
Which
know.
was
Thank you for
your
your excitement.
no, because that was like your nemesis in a
I've
color.
never
I
liked
don't know
it.
why you were like,
Never liked it. Yeah, I've always thought it's like a nothing color. I've always seen it as like, oh my
no, but
god,
I
you have
think
like
it's
no
amazing that
temperament.
you tried to use it because all the
Yeah,
things you've said about not liking it that much.
yeah, because there have been paintings that we've done where I used it, um, where I stood corrected. I mean, honestly, it's dumb bias when we it's like ignorant bias when we just say, oh, this color is horrible. No, no, no.
Yeah.
We should always like say, oh, this color under my hands, like under my control, or with my limited experience, is very hard to use.
Mhm.
That's probably like a more like a better way of speaking about a color. Or we could say that a color doesn't quite make sense with the other colors that you have in your palette if you're trying to push like a specific. I don't know if philosophy
Mhm.
is too grand of a term there, but I do think there are color philosophies that manifest in the palette. So yeah, so I'm gonna do that, and black. So I think my 2020 palette is because
So
I
no raw umber?
yeah, raw umber, yeah. So it's gonna be super earthy, super
Okay.
super earthy. So I think 2020 palette is gonna be uh titanium white, yellow ochre pale. So this is not the color, right? I'm not pointing at bismuth yellow and calling it something else. So let's just do this here. Let's just point underneath so that people don't get confused, maybe. So it's going to be titanium white, yellow ochre pale, raw sienna,
Mhm.
cad red, alizarin,
Mhm.
raw umber, ultramarine blue, and ivory black.
Do you place them like that? Because I always put the raw umber near the black.
Yeah,
And
I
like
just said
first the
that just to
blue
have.
and then
Yeah, I these two I've always like interchanged. Like a lot of people do that because a lot of people want to have primary colors, like a
Mhm.
string of primary colors
Yeah,
up here.
I
So
do
you have your
that.
yellows, reds, and blues,
Yeah.
and then you have greens or purples or earth tones. So
Mhm.
a lot of people that I know also have like a string of earth tones, like a
Mhm.
whole string of earth tones. Like they group them all together. So they would do, let's say, yellow ochre, then raw sienna, then I don't know, transparent red oxide, burnt sienna, burnt umber, raw umber. They would have all of them like together. So
Mhm.
yeah, you can break your palette up however way you want. It's just that it has to make sense.
Yeah.
Like in some way, it has to make sense. Yeah, I probably move it just to emphasize the earthiness, or maybe I'll keep it like that. Like that's totally fine. I
Mhm.
do need a blue, and I do think I'm gonna stick with my ultramarine blue.
Mhm.
But if you think about it, it's like black. I because black is such a beautiful color. Ivory black is such a gorgeous color, and I always tend to use it in more restricted palettes. So I
Mhm.
would use it in like a super restricted, like say grisaille palette, or if I'm using titanium white,
Yeah.
raw umber, and ivory black, which is like super, super restricted, but you could do a lot of stuff with temperature there. Um, or I would use it with the Zorn palette, which is amazing, where it kind of plays the role of blue. But, whenever I have it in my palette, I love it. I love it as a color.
Yeah.
But I always put it to the side saying, okay, no, this is like a color that I use for exercises, like for academic purposes almost.
So this is gonna be the time to like really getting to know
Getting to know, yeah.
the black. Yeah.
I think, I mean, I have a sense of what it does,
Yeah, but if you're saying that
but
you only use
right,
it for exercise, maybe you haven't explored that much what
right,
it
right,
can do if it's like in
right.
your
I
permanent
think I
palette.
owe it. Like I want to respect the history of black, which I think it's amazing. I think that you can trace. I think that I mean you could probably say this, with every color, with every hue. Well, with not with every hue, but I think it's very interesting to trace back the history of black, and I think it goes hand in hand with the history of painting. I really do. Even
Okay.
in like Eurocentric impressionism, where they wanted to, where they ignorantly associated black with shadow,
Mhm.
and then they tried to say you can't use black to paint because there's so much richness in shadow, and when you go outside and paint under the sun, you see all these colors. So they kind of understood color as something opposite to black.
Yeah.
But even there, where they were trying to negate just this beautiful nature of black, black is a protagonist. So I thought, you know what, we have to bring it back and use it and
Mhm.
make good use of it. Let's say, Danny, you know what happened yesterday? Because I was
What?
listening to us. I mean, aside from having a wonderful intro that we were like fumbling through
Few
that intro.
minutes
Oh
super
yeah, we
lost.
were like
Yeah.
idiots. Um,
Your sound was low,
I
maybe?
think we were. I think I was echoing
C-
quite a bit.
Yeah, but that's because you're low. Because I was seeing the levels while you were speaking. So let me raise the gain a little bit.
Really?
Really, because if you see, it
Yeah.
never picks up the green.
No, no, no. But that's actually fine.
No, because all the times it pick yellow.
Yeah, but maybe that makes me sound like super loud. And what I
Mm,
don't want to do is pick up on your mic. We're getting another one of these, another
yeah.
one of the mics that
So
I have,
all
like a
this is gonna
condenser
be gone, like this tripod, weird tripod.
and the mason jar.
No, I don't have the
Well,
mason jar
no,
anymore.
it hasn't made a
That's a
comeback.
24-hour
Yeah, yeah. It should
setup.
make a comeback just for the goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we can raise your gain a little bit.
Do you think that that's what would fix it? I don't
Yeah,
know if that's what would fix it.
because I can lower my decibeles. I don't know how to say that.
Uh huh.
But
But
then I would be super low.
I know
So
that's
let me.
we haven't been able to
No, but let me try because I think we had that set up before and it was fine. So,
I'll trust you.
okay.
And,
Maybe.
and people can let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Because I
Maybe
think
you
people have
can
been
let
like
us
super
know.
cool, and if we echo, like they're like, oh, we don't care, and that's like super super nice,
Well, and you have to remember the first streams we did. I mean, I sounded as if I was
Oh, in church,
like,
yeah,
no.
like confession,
Yeah.
in a confession,
It was a terrible
in a
echo.
booth.
and I was like super far.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
terrible.
Oh,
So
perfect.
we're
Perfect.
getting better.
Well, we're getting there.
Better-ish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Better-ish. That's going to be the title of the book. We didn't want to say it.
You have to say it's a joke because maybe then there's
Somebody,
someone that believes it's the real title.
and they're going to love it. And you're like, oh my God, that's genius.
So Koshap Vokish Rap
Okay.
said, "Hi guys, painting alongside.
Awesome.
That's
Thank
super
you.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Is there any hashtag to post paintings in company with you? I think it would be cool to have a.
Our painted lives. You know, we could do.
But we can like divide it into years, maybe. Don't you think it's interesting?
That's a big ass
Like,
hashtag.
okay, no, yeah. So only use hashtag or painted lives, and we can check what you're doing at the end of the session.
Our painted YouTube lives.
No, you're making it super complicated.
No, I know.
They're gonna be like,
I was just trying to use.
lives.
Yeah.
Our
I was just trying to use the
YouTube.
live part. The lives, and the live part.
Are painted and lives in all caps, but I don't think
No, the
hashtags
caps does.
matters.
Yeah, that doesn't matter
Yeah.
with hashtags. Yeah, Danny still wants to
hashtag 28
to
is
do
28.
one as memorable as 28 is 24.
No, but you can use the hashtag.
Which when she tried to look for the hashtag, she wrote hashtag 24 is 28.
Yeah.
So the creator didn't even remember how to look for the hashtag.
Yeah. Wishlist 011 said, "Hey, what was Danny thinking about in that reference photo? She doesn't look happy." No.
Oh, she's always happy. That's
Yeah.
that's a very cute photo.
Yeah.
I actually
It's like a selfie.
yeah, I think you took that selfie. I think I even like
You
took
took
this
it from
picture.
my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took it from your phone.
No, that's fine. I mean,
I took this from your phone because I really liked it. I thought it was really nice.
you know what? I think
What's that?
that picture, if I'm not misremembering, it was when we moved from the old apartment to this one.
Mm-hmm.
The last day we were packing.
Okay.
So yeah, I
But
remember.
maybe
I took the,
some maybe there is. I mean,
No,
I
but
don't see it.
I wasn't sad. I think
Yeah,
was
I don't
happy.
see it. But maybe there is a melancholic.
No, but I remember that I took that selfie that was in our
Bathroom.
old bathroom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you could see the bevel of the
of the mirror, yeah.
of the mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, and my hair was super dark.
Well, I mean,
No, because I
Well,
have
you-
it like
a
lighter.
little bit lighter. Yeah. But I'll always associate you with like dark. I mean, that's one of the things that I love about.
Yeah.
Like you're very contrasty, and I love that.
Yeah, but you know that maybe
What's
I would
that?
love to have white hair.
Oh,
Or
we
big-
talked about it. I
Yeah.
told you you would look awesome. I mean, you're scared about ruining your hair a little bit
Yeah.
because
But
you love
maybe in
your
the
hair.
future.
You have really good hair, so like super cool hair. When I met Danny, she had her hair down to her butt, like
Yeah, but-
super
'Cause
long
now
hair.
it's super long, but I had it that long because I
Yeah,
donated.
you donate your hair,
Yeah. So
and no, not to me, not to me.
no,
No.
that would be a good.
Oh
no.
no.
No, I was
oh,
gonna say a good idea, but no. of
no,
course
no, no,
No,
no.
I think I wouldn't like you
With hair?
with hair. I mean,
no,
that would be weird.
I think the
Of course,
first.
I would love you, whatever you look like, but I like you being bald. So
Yeah.
I don't imagine you with
Did you say
hair.
bold or bald or
Bald.
both?
You always say because I say us or ass.
Well, that one's a bit different.
No, but I mean,
No,
you have
don't
to
worry.
read pay attention to the sentence I'm saying. I'm not saying like
I
I'm
was
happy
kidding.
for ass. No, of
You're
course
happy for
not.
ass? Oh my god! You turned on the temperature.
Yesterday, no, I'm not
Yesterday
gonna
we're
bring
happy
this
for
back.
ass, I think too.
What? No, I was.
I
Gonna
don't
say
know.
that
I'm just repeating
yesterday
stuff that you
were
say.
Making fun of
You're the one that's like,
the
YouTube is blocking us.
no, because I said
We're losing like
Twisting-
$8
I
every
said
time you say that.
twisting thongs.
Twisting
Tongues?
thongs, yeah.
How do you
That's.
say it?
I have no idea what you're talking.
No,
Like
lengua.
that universe that you belong
¿Cómo
to.
se pronuncia lengua?
Tongues.
Tongues.
Yeah, t.
And what did I say?
You went with a th. I mean,
Thongs?
you went.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I get it
You went
now.
with a th there.
Okay, so
Yeah,
tongues.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Emily said, do you put out fresh paint before every session, or do you sometimes use yesterday's paint?
Oh, I used. Yeah, I never, or very. No, I'm not going to say never. But very, very seldomly take out my paint because you know, I think. I mean, I'm not going to say literally paint every day,
But
but you
yeah,
would say,
from
even if it's like a weekend,
yeah, from
like I'll
365 days, I think you paint 362.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
I'm not joking, like
yeah, so
it's
I'll
always
use
fresh.
it's always gonna there's always gonna be paint there. So paint is when you decide that there's always gonna be paint there and you're always gonna be painting, like painting doesn't need to be replaced at all. So it's kind of easy. But I do go through a lot of paint, I feel, especially white. Special also ochre. I go through a lot of ochre for some reason. Yeah, and with an absorbent surface, oh my god, it's crazy. Like I go through crazy amounts. So, I didn't care that much about your sweater in this one, Danny. I think my the moment that interests me the most, I feel,
Hmm.
is right here with your finger kind of tucking in underneath, and then well, that has to come closer. I'll
Like
fix
kind
some
of
of that.
stretching the lip.
Yeah, I love that. I love that kind of pulling of the lip gesture. That's super super nice. So I want my painting to be more about here. I think that if I had more space,
Hmm.
like that would miss. I would have a lot of chances to get distracted with some other stuff and just not pay attention to the thing that I wanted to paint.
Hmm.
So, um, and I think I'm making your eyes a little bit bigger. I mean, you do have big eyes, and I'm probably I don't know if I should have made. I'm struggling a little bit. Maybe I should have made the head a little bit smaller, eyes smaller, just so the proportion to your nose feels a little bit better. But I do feel that there's a lot of disproportion because of the camera
Hmm.
in that photo. So I think I'm doing a little bit more of a balanced proportion. I at least I feel, or at least something that feels familiar.
I think it looks super me, the
Okay,
sketch.
that's better.
Yeah.
That's if you feel that you're there, I
Yeah.
feel okay.
Mm, Alejandro Pinzón Palma está de regreso. Nos
Grande.
dice, hola, ¿cómo les terminó ir en fin de año?
Muy bien, muchas
Bien.
gracias.
¿Y Alejandro sí durmió después de las 24 horas? ¿Sí
Sí.
descansó?
El libro de Alejandro lo vamos a mandar mañana.
Sí.
Mañana que hacemos, nosotros los miércoles hacemos envíos.
Ujú.
Entonces, mañana
Lo
mañana
enviamos.
lo enviamos.
Jesús de la Osa pregunta, ¿hay alguna razón para hacer el boceto desde un color rojo?
No, es puro capricho mío, honestamente, es súper, súper capricho mío. Debo aceptar que hay veces, o sea, hay pinturas donde se nota, hay veces dejo como pedacitos donde se ve el poquito de rojo de pronto y me gusta, pero pues no es nada distinto como a que se me hace chévere. O sea,
Como
no
nada
es,
técnico.
sí, no hay ninguna razón para hacerlo distinta que como que se me hace bonito, como que quedan cosas bonitas, chéveres que se pueden hacer ahí con la pintura.
Carlos Pérez dice, hey Nicolás, ¿cuál es tu experiencia al buscar, entre comillas, mentores, artistas que te apasiona su trabajo y su carrera? ¿Qué aspectos tienen tus mentores o artistas favoritos?
Pero eso es que, bueno, yo de pronto pero de pronto es simplemente semántica, pero yo nunca me he referido a como a, a esas personas como mentores. O sea, me he topado tuve la fortuna de toparme con profes ahí increíbles en mi vida, pero buscar, es que mentor, no sé si tú entiendes también lo mismo, Linda, pero Es que por mentor yo entiendo como alguien que acompaña el proceso de uno, o
Sí.
que uno busca como una reunión con esas
Pues
personas
o
o...
como que uno tiene algún tipo de como interacción, no solo de parte de uno viendo, sino
Ujú.
respuesta de ellos, de pronto.
Sí, como una relación. O
Sí,
sea,
sí, sí.
yo pensaría que un mentor sugiere una relación muy grande.
Sí.
Y yo seguramente he tenido, o sea, en mi cabeza puedo pensar en cuatro profes que han sido importantísimos en mi vida, pero todos fueron profes universitarios, o sea, de la carrera de artes,
Ujú,
que fueron Steve Assel, Max Ginsberg, Sam Martin y David Soman. Pero yo creo que aparte de ellos, yo no sé, o sea, obviamente había más profesores increíbles, pero con ellos, con los que menciono, tuve una relación personal. Pero yo no los busqué, o sea, fue como muy fortuito que haya encontrado como como que haya tenido la oportunidad de trabajar con ellos,
ujú.
pues de aprender de ellos, cuál trabajar con ellos, de aprender. En ese momento yo no sabía absolutamente nada. Em, sí, pero yo no he buscado más personas, si les soy honesto. O sea, después han sido simplemente relaciones como, no sé, de que uno conoce, o sea, de que conozco pintores en una exposición, o conozco pintores en los talleres que doy, o conozco pintores a través de Instagram, no sé. O sea, pero si tuviera que cómo pensar en alguien con quien quisiera aprender. O sea, hay cosas como formales que me encantaría aprender de otros pintores, sí. Yo nunca me he sentido como que, ay, yo ya estoy en un punto donde no aprendo, no. Em, yo quisiera con Mark D'Alessio, porque es
Ujú,
que pensaría en Pete the Street, que ese es el usuario de él en
ujú,
Instagram. Pete the Street es como, para mí es enorme. Para mí es como, o sea, pintura urbana plein air, él es como Dios. O sea, ese personaje es lo más grande que hay. Em, pero él no da talleres,
ujú.
entonces, pues pailas, porque pues, ¿para qué pensar en un artista que no da ningún tipo de taller? Pero Mark D'Alessio sí da, y Mark D'Alessio también es un pintor de plein air increíble, increíble.
O sea, ¿te gustaría
Yo creo,
plener?
sí, 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 porque plein air me enfrentaría a muchas cosas con las que yo no soy bueno.
Ujú,
Entonces, si quiero como que tener esa experiencia de uno volverse a sentir así full estudiante, como lleno de inseguridades y sabiendo que esa experiencia le va a proporcionar a uno un resto de cosas nuevas. Sí, yo creo que ellos dos, y déjame y pienso, ahorita respondo de pronto más, como que quisiera tener para como para sentirme así, pues, para buscar ese sentimiento de que admiro a una persona muchísimo, sé que da talleres y sé que podría sacarle muchísimo provecho como a esos talleres. Déjame y pienso y
listo.
ahorita te digo de pronto quién más.
Ignacio Casas dice, ¿qué obras vistas en museos lo han impactado más que no sea Rembrandt?
Pues muchísimo. O sea, soy como un disco ahí rayado cuando hablo de Olga Boznanska, cuando fui a Polonia. Pero allá también vi obra de Malszewski, de Matejko, que es increíble, de Joseph Brandt, un tipo que hace como caballos, o sea, los caballos más chéveres o la gente a caballo más chévere que yo he visto en mi vida. Mucho más chévere que, bueno, no, distinto, pero dinámico, súper dinámico. O sea, más dinámico que Meissonier o que Remington, o sea, unas cosas súper, súper bonitas. Vimos unos Remington chéveres, ¿no?
Sí, te
Lindita
iba a
ahorita en
decir
Houston, sí.
Kupka, el autorretrato de
Ah,
Kupka,
uy,
¿no?
sí,
Que ese
ahorita
estaba como...
logramos ver, sí, cuando fuimos a Houston, eh, logramos ver el autorretrato, que es de los autorretratos que más me gusta en la vida, de Kupka, muy, muy súper suelto, ¿no es cierto?
Sí,
Súper, súper expresivo.
sí, sí, sí.
Pensé que era como un poco más... o sea, no le estoy diciendo como algo malo ni nada,
No, te
ni...
sorprendió. Sí, porque tú me dijiste eso
Sí,
estando allá.
pensé que era de pronto un poquito más como sensible en algunas cosas. No, Kupka era un dios para pintar como o sea, intestino, con el intestino. O sea, ponía los brochazos y ¡puf! Los dejaba. una cosa impresionante. Que me ha impresionado muchísimo. Bueno, cuando la primera vez que fui al Louvre y vi Balsa de la Medusa y pinturas, o sea, ese salón que tiene Balsa de la Medusa tiene un poco de Jericós, tiene un poco de Gauze, mm, así que me haya impresionado así como loco, que me ha dejado como loco. Mm, pues es que hay un punto donde ya es cualquier cosa que uno no conozca y la vaya a ver por primera vez en pintura, yo siento. O sea, yo siento que ese primer momento donde uno ve una pintura es muy mágico, es muy, muy chévere. ¿Sabes cuál me pasó,
¿Cuál?
Lindita? Hay una pintura em, no de Salomé, de al que le cortan el pelo. Es que se me fue y pierde el poder. Es de Solomon J. Solomon. Eh, ah,
A ver si nos ayudan acá.
no, no sé qué me pasó. Em, de... y- Fuck. No, me siento re bobo. Yo a
Pues
veces
yo
tengo
no tengo
mis...
ni idea.
No, sí sabes. Pero pues no te puedo decir nada porque
Pero es que, ¿qué estás tratando de...? No te entiendo. O sea, estás tratando de describir... ¿Qué?
la pintura de Sansón,
Ah,
de Lila y Sansón. O sea, me sentí fatal no sabiendo eso. Estaba la pintura de Sansón de
ujú,
Solomon J. Solomon, que es una pintura increíble, y yo no tenía idea dónde estaba esa pintura. Y estaba en Liverpool, estaba en la galería de, pues lo que es el museo así grande de arte de Liverpool,
ujú.
pero nosotros fuimos allá para ver otra exposición, eh, pero, pero cuando estaba subiendo las escaleras de repente veo esa pintura enorme. Lo malo es que o sea, está al lado está en el muro donde uno está subiendo las escaleras y después uno gira. Entonces, pues uno después tiene que mirar desde la baranda y está el hueco de la escalera, las escaleras y después la pintura. O sea, no hay manera que uno se pueda acercar a esa pintura, pero es una pintura impresionante. Entonces, ese tipo de experiencias son fascinantes. A mí me encanta eso y pues yo que soy muy agradecido con la vida que puedo viajar a hacer talleres como a bastantes sitios, encontrarme con pinturas que no sabía que iban a estar en esos sitios es una maravilla, es una maravilla. Entonces, ahorita me acuerdo de esa pues porque fui a Liverpool hace relativamente poco.
Ignacio pregunta, ¿qué piensas del pasaje de Kupka a la abstracción? ¿Cuál cree que puede ser la motivación de un artista figurativo para pasarse a la abstracción?
Bueno, motivación, no sé, pero pues él es simplemente producto del tiempo, o sea, esa transición, digamos, em, tiene, tiene muchísimo sentido si se le mira desde el lente del siglo XX, entonces, y pues de la primera mitad del siglo XX. Entonces, pienso que ahí está como la respuesta. Es una respuesta súper fácil, pero yo creo que por más de que sea fácil, es la que tiene más sentido ahí. Es que había, o sea, piense que Kupka estaba pintando al tiempo de Picasso, o sea, es que ese cambio de siglo, o sea, 1899 a 1900, es una locura. O sea, al mismo tiempo estaba pintando Bouguereau, estaba pintando Picasso, estaba pintando Kupka, estaba pintando Matisse, o sea, es absurdo lo que pasa en la pintura en ese cambio de siglo. Nosotros, y lo triste es que pasan 100 años, y esa ha sido mi tesis siempre de que la pintura se está desacelerando muchísimo, pero pasan 100 años, en este momento pues 120 años, y pues no hay, o sea, no hay forma, y yo no creo que eso se vaya a repetir ya nunca más, pero no hay forma de que nosotros o la pintura se vuelva a encontrar en una etapa donde sucedan como que donde se estén colisionando tantísimos trenes, o sea, al tiempo, como lo fue ese comienzo del siglo XX. Entonces, fascinante, fascinante ese momento. Entonces, no, yo creo que era el momento perfecto, era como digamos que eran todas, se estaban dando todas las condiciones para que pintores, pues, sintieran que podían hacer transiciones que quizás uno las ve muy abruptas, pero pues para ese momento no, para ese momento como ese deseo de explorar parámetros de la pintura, pues era una necesidad que estaba apremiando a toda Europa.
Callum says,
Callum.
this feels like it could be a Juan Ruiz painting.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like Juan's work. I um I don't smoke as much weed, and I'm saying as
As
much,
much.
yeah, because we
You
don't smoke
don't.
weed. No, our body is a temple. As him, so maybe that's a difference between us. I wonder how old Juan is now.
I think
But
we can
he's
Google
an awesome
that.
painter. He's a young painter. But I'm probably like
But I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
say
that young.
yeah, I think he's young.
You think?
I'm gonna say I think he's about your age, maybe 28, maybe.
Mm,
I don't know if that's easy to find. Maybe in
no,
workshops that
it's
he's
not.
done. But I would say he's probably like late 20s. I'm gonna say that. So yeah, I'm a bit older than him, but
And Column said, also, Danny, where is that jumper from? It's amazing. Thank you. Um, it's I got it from a thrift shop in a se me olvidó dónde es que estaba. Que fui con mi hermana.
in Chicago,
In
in
Chicago.
Chicago, or
Yeah, in Chicago.
in Michigan.
I don't know why I forgot, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, we blank out. By the way,
Yeah.
this is a regular part of our day.
Yeah.
I forgot about Samson.
Yeah. I
Danny
forgot about
forgets.
everything.
Danny forgets.
No,
Danny
yeah, but
leaves
I
the
got it.
gas on.
It was more like a vintage shop because they got like a curation of the things they had there, and I was so happy when I found it because it's my favorite sweater. Mm, Ranar is saying, "Hey, you two. So is this the Our Painted Lives 2.0 or more like a 1.0 addendum?"
It's I guess it's gonna feel different when I'm probably gonna start doing paintings that require not a single sitting to be solved. I
Mhm.
feel, and it's definitely gonna feel different. I started the painting where we're gonna start a conversation.
Yeah.
So part of our day, yesterday we established that Mondays is gonna be the day where we start that kind of conversation. So next Monday I'll show my piece,
Mhm.
and it doesn't have to be like, it could be something like this. Like we don't want to set like, I mean, there's no expectations. So I think what's really cool about this, like the bottom of this exercise, or the purpose of this exercise, um it's just that Danny and I can feel like we can work together, but together in the same wavelength. Like Danny has been busting her butt, for 2 years, doing a lot of the behind the scenes, like editing,
Which
and
I was super happy
which is
with.
super cool. Yeah,
I mean,
she would have never done any of that if she didn't feel satisfied by doing it. So, but I wanted, we talked about it, and we thought it would be cool, and I wanted to, have a sort of exchange with Danny,
mhm.
that is, where we both feel like we're doing not the same exercise, because we can interpret
No,
it
but
the same way,
where
but
we can have a conversation.
like a
Let's say.
visual, yeah,
Yeah.
like the variables that we're both going to deal with are the same,
Yeah.
and I think that's super super fair. Um, and that's going to be, I think, cool. So I started mine today. I really like that. I think that it's a really cool starting point, but
I
we'll
have
talk
no
about that.
idea because I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
yeah. So I have to paint with the door closed,
Yeah.
and Danny can't just storm into the room because I really don't want her to see it, and I'll do the same. Like when she's working, like
You can't get near
I can't. Yeah,
my
yeah.
desk.
I
Yeah.
won't bother her. I won't say anything if I know she's working on that. So the less we discuss it, the better. Um, and I think that that's going to be super interesting. I think that that moment of what we're trying to do is going to be super interesting. So yeah, so things that are going to change for sure are going to be the fact that there's not this sense of urgency to finish a piece in a single session,
Yeah.
and but I do want to balance things out with having like it's become super important for me to paint every day, to have like an exercise that I can culminate every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm gonna try for my own sake. This is not for anything else. I'm just gonna try to keep this going, like almost like painting as a sketchbook, like that recurring painting, that idea that you can sit down and just paint something without thinking that it has to be like this grand work of art. I love that. I think that that's super super healthy, and there's something in my body that's telling me that I have to maintain that. So for sure I'm going to do that, but I'm also going to try to do paintings where I try to solve them indirectly, or or maybe the image becomes something that's um a little more open, and that I can investigate like little areas and just go back to them. I want to get back on that horse to see how that feels. It's going to be slow. I always have to, because I think people thought that the first day of the year I was going to have like an easel
Yeah.
set up and, this big ass painting, which wouldn't even fit here.
Yeah.
It would
It's
have to
not a.
go, we would have to go to the living room to paint it, like our painted living room.
Bad joke.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be like a super dramatic change. I mean,
I don't think initially, because I don't want to force anything. I think
no.
that that's dumb. Like
And
doing it for the sake of doing it, just to like let's say we just felt pressure to produce like content that was different. No, forget it.
no.
Like like our relationship is not at all about any of those things. So um and the way we see the videos that we make, we don't see them at all as content. We see them as something that's important for us first, and then it can be something, if it's important for us, then we think that it's interesting to share with other people.
Yeah.
But I don't think
It can be like
the other way
around
around.
in
Yeah.
order. Yeah.
No, I mean a lot of people do that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Like they create content for
But the
entertainment's
thing is
sake.
that that was never our intent.
No,
So,
no. I
but
think
yeah, it's not gonna be like a super dramatic change.
yeah.
And also, well, it's all gonna be live sessions,
Yes.
which has been like a change we introduced the last months of the last year.
Yeah.
But that's a huge change for
Yeah.
what we've done for the past 2 years, because we all the time had edited videos. So yeah, I would say it's our painted lives
I don't mind calling it 2.0.
2.0.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Yeah. It's kind of fine.
Yeah, because I would say that the first 2 years were the starters for this. I
Yeah.
mean, because we didn't know if that was gonna be like a finite uh project we were gonna do. So it opened the door for this to continue and be like our job from now on.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm, Malvin y Tías, cuando preguntaban de Juan Ruiz, dice, tiene como 27. Tiene
Sí,
27 como Kurt Cobain.
Hoy no, pero no lo ponga ya en grupos de los 27.
Em, dice, ¿no?
Y dice,
no sé por qué. Renard said, I think what's great about this community you've built together is how excited we are to see you both change and grow. You've made a freedom here. And you not bothering Danny? Hilarious. Can't wait to see what you two come with.
What was that last part?
When you said that you were not going to bother me while I work for the
Oh,
peace
no,
of
no,
the
no.
conversation.
No, I'm super like respectful of that. Like Danny likes to be super private. Like I don't mind if we weren't doing that. Like Danny comes in like every 20 minutes. Nah, I'm
Nah.
kidding. I'm kidding. But Danny, that she knows that she can come in
Yeah.
anytime. Like it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be like
No,
it.
because the thing is
Maybe
that
if I'm like painting an eyeball
yeah,
and I go like, oh, I'll be like, oh, give me 2 seconds, 2 seconds to answer back, and
because
I'll try to make that stroke, and
I'm
then
the
I
type of
answer.
person that I don't know. I maybe I remembered something that was funny, so I just come here and say that to Nicolas and be here for I don't know 2 minutes, and then I go, and then I remember something like 2 hours after that, so I come and we have a conversation for 10, 20 minutes, and then I go again. Or maybe you go there
Yeah.
and you say something.
¿Cómo vas, lindita?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, but it's fun. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
but
So we don't like we respect each other's spaces, but I do think that like I do know that we work differently, not better or worse, just differently. And I know that Danny likes to like she would feel uncomfortable if I was like hovering over her shoulder just watching her work. And that's super fine. Like,
yeah,
you know,
well,
just
not
people don't work the same ways.
yeah.
That's totally fine.
I don't know if uncomfortable, but I'm not used to it, so I don't know if that would make me work worse
Or
or like
different, let's say.
slower or yeah, or like to be like super super thoughtful or of every like line I do if I'm drawing. So yeah, I prefer to be alone when I'm working. Mm, Aldo was asking why on your website we can't see anymore your first paintings,
First ones as in
your
like
past
the
work, maybe.
really old, like
I think they're
the.
saying that maybe.
So there's a lot of paintings that I unfortunately don't have images of anymore. I lost them. I lost them to, life. I don't know. I don't know how else to. I was stupid for not having backups, but I lost probably hundreds of images of paintings that I had um, prior to. I'm gonna say 2000. I don't know, maybe 12. Yeah, because it was after Fer was born. Yeah.
Yeah, you
So
told me you lost
everything so
everything.
everything before 2012, so everything that's almost like 9, 10 years old, uh,
It's gone.
it's gone. Yeah, gone. Like absolutely gone. I have no like there's JPEGs in the internet, but I have no images of that. And it's my fault. Like trust me, I cried like this moment in my life when I realized that had lost all those paintings. And I don't know, maybe that has made me feel like it's okay not to have, you know, maybe it's all connected. Like that's what kind of makes me feel, you know what, it's okay if we couldn't have this video for the 24 hours uploaded in YouTube. And maybe it's okay if for this painting we just, we just don't we just have the single image and it just disappears. I'm okay with that. I mean, there's been enough experiences in my life that have taught me that maybe the TIFF file disappeared, but that doesn't mean that the painting, like that the experience that um was born from making that painting disappeared with that TIFF file. So um I think I've learned that throughout the years. Like it doesn't really matter. I know for the sake of just having portfolio and just all this, quote unquote professional stuff, like yeah, I could have done a better job at just keeping all that stuff backed up. But I was dumb. I was very stupid, and I had ample opportunities to back up what was my only drive, the only place that I kept those images. And the truth is, the story is that it got corrupted as hard drives used to do. I mean, nowadays with SSDs, I mean, it's a little bit different, but they're not, spinning parts. And so it doesn't get, they do have a longer lifespan, I feel. Callum can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, but I had, what makes the matter worse is that I had 3 drives in my computer back then. 3. I had my regular hard drive and 2 other drives that could have served as backups. I never backed it up, and eventually all 3 drives died, which is insane. I mean, they died about 5. No, it was probably more. About 6 years after I bought them, which that should have told me, like, that should have been a warning sign, like. But yeah, I was very stupid, and yeah, that's what happened. So I lost a lot of images. So I don't have, maybe what I'm trying to say with all of this is that maybe I'm super detached, not in the sense that I don't care about past paintings. I think like if you Google, you can find enough of those paintings in the internet. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, just Google, because that sounds, I don't want to sound dismissive or like disrespectful, but there's enough stuff out there. Like, and you know how I know that there's enough stuff out there? Because I've had to do it. I have to do it whenever I have to do a talk or a presentation. I always have to Google my own stuff because I don't have it. I always have to like literally look for Google images, HD, and try to find the best images of my own work. So yeah, so maybe I've just become, I don't know. I just see it as I think that the fact that those images have lifespans also is okay. I think it's totally okay. So yeah, I'll just say that. So I'm sorry. Yeah, maybe, yeah. No, I was gonna say maybe I can try to make an effort to collect some images and then put them in the website. But I think I feel far more comfortable if the website is just it really is just a place to find. It's not like a catalog, like a raisonné catalog.
Because it's not a blog.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, but it's more of a, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like this is today, this is what we're doing right now, and that's it. Again, not to undervalue all the things that the other paintings were. Oh, of course not. Like that was my life, when I did them. So, but yeah, life also taught me not to be super attached to those images. Sometimes we look back. We spend too much time looking back if we have those images, I feel. I mean, in my experience. Like, you're always checking like in the rear view mirror, and you're always you start kind of comparing yourself to yourself. And I much rather, like, I'm super conscious of everything that I've done. I don't need an image to remind me of that. So maybe if there's not an image, I just kind of move forward a little bit easier, I feel. Hope
So
that makes sense.
Renard said, I found a parallel in that with photography. My old mentor and I would often shoot around the city, at gardens, etc., without any film in the camera
Oh, way,
to allow
nice.
that detachment while still practicing.
Oh, that's actually nice.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Yeah, I that sounds so simple, but I hadn't thought of an exercise like that.
Alejandro Pinzón Palma dice, quisiera pedirles otro favor, no
Con
sé si
mucho
sea
gusto, claro.
posible, que firmaran el libro los dos. Es muy
Claro.
valioso para mí este premio.
No,
Ay, sí, súper, de una.
claro, con mucho gusto. Ahí mandamos un mensajito en el libro.
Claro que sí.
Claro que sí.
Claro que sí. No, ese dicho no está
No, nunca
chévere.
existe, ¿no? Sí.
No, no es
Lo
chévere.
dijimos como si fuera súper,
Sí. Además,
como
como si
así, como
nosotros
dice,
lo dijéramos.
como dice la gente en la calle.
Jesús de la Osa pregunta,
Sí.
¿les gusta el arte naif?
Sí, pues bueno,
Sí.
sí, pero creo que a los dos, sí,
Sí.
muchísimo. Sí, muchísimo.
Pensé que
No,
ibas
es
a
que fue
decir algo
fácil.
más.
No, es que fue fácil.
Sí.
O sea, la respuesta es un
Es
sí contundente.
en mayúsculas,
Un
sí.
sí contundente.
Um, so when you were talking about this Our Painted Lives 2.0
Yeah.
and changing the format,
Yeah.
Sachin Arts was asking, what about the medium? It can change maybe.
My oil paint?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe they're asking if you're
Oh, if
gonna
that
try
if I'm
to.
willing to try like different stuff? Yeah. I mean,
Because I think you were more open to that in the past 2 years
right.
because of the nature of the exercise we were doing.
Yeah.
But maybe now it's kind of different because,
Well, there would have to be a reason for me to try that out. But like I said, I do want to make like the routine of doing daily paintings. I do want to make that. I do want to keep that. So, maybe I can maybe that can be part of that. I don't know. That sounds like a lot of work. But we'll see. I think we can make all of that work.
Ignacio Casas pregunta, ¿y
Sí.
usted en algún momento trató, perdón, o tuvo la inquietud de pintar un cuadro abstracto?
Pues yo creo momentos abstractos en las pinturas he tenido 100%. Pero una pintura 100% abstracta, creo que no. No me... O sea, no he sentido nunca como esa necesidad así grandísima, si soy sincero. No sé, no creo. O sea, y es que si no la siento, no sé para qué la forzaría. O sea, en las instancias más abstractas de pinturas que he hecho, es porque siento que quiero hacer eso. Pero, pero no, yo no me, como que no me obligaría, no sé qué estaría ganando con obligarme a hacer eso. Pues de pronto se volvería en un ejercicio meramente formal, como decir, ay, hoy usemos gouache, hoy hagamos una pintura abstracta. Entonces, por ahora no he sentido nunca esa necesidad, la verdad. Con la naturaleza tengo, digámoslo así. O sea, con partir desde la naturaleza o con hacer una reflexión desde la naturaleza. Bueno, hay mucha pintura abstracta que también hace reflexiones desde la naturaleza. Pero, ¿cómo decimos eso entonces? Para que suene un poquito más claro.
Mm,
Eh, con una pintura que exalta la observación desde la naturaleza,
pero de
estoy
pronto
satisfecho.
también lo exaltaría algo
No sé
abstracto.
si algo abstracto como que exalte
Exalte, ¿no?
la naturaleza, la observación desde la naturaleza. No sé,
Pero no, yo entiendo lo que
no
estás
sé.
diciendo.
O sea, uno ve a pintores coloristas, digamos, y tú ves un cuadro amarillo, uno rojo, uno
Sí,
naranja,
sí,
uno
sí, sí,
azul. Yo
sí.
no diría que es que ahí se está partiendo desde la naturaleza para esa reflexión.
Alejandro Morales dice, hola Dani y Nicolás, ¿qué tal todo?
Todo muy bien, Alejandro, muchas gracias.
¿Sí? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien,
¿Todo
gracias.
bien?
¿Me estás ahora diciendo tú o
No, es que la
Alejandro?
pregunta era ¿qué tal todo? Entonces me pareció
Ah,
chévere preguntarte qué tal todo, que
bien, ¿y
me
tú?
contaras qué tal
¿Cómo
todo.
estás? ¿Cómo estás tú?
Yo estoy bien acá sentada.
Ah,
Sí.
como si estábamos como a 1 metro de
Sí.
distancia.
There was a question related because Olivia said, are your tables side by side?
We
Yes.
are like,
I
we
can
were
show
just
you with the
joking.
camera.
Yeah, we were
So-
just joking that we were like literally,
So,
we are like literally like a meter away from each other. And that's like every second of every day.
no, now you're saying it as if it was a burden.
No, it's not.
It's not.
No, of course not.
Um, Sashin Arts said, I like your gouache watercolor little girl portrait. So maybe fair? Was it
I
fair? I think
think,
it was fair.
yeah, the one that she's sitting down, that's an older one.
Yeah.
But I do feel that's that one. Thank you. Yeah, because that's a gouache one.
Eh,
I do feel that I can paint. I do feel I can paint gouache a little bit better when we're not recording. Like, when we're recording, I do feel a little more pressure to just execute the painting.
Yeah, like you rush it.
Exactly. And I realized that I do have the patience that's necessary, that's obviously necessary with the drying time in gouache when I just decide by myself, like, okay, I'm gonna paint this gouache painting today for myself. I think I'm better at that. And I can just make a gouache painting and even if it's a sketch that takes me 3-4 hours to do,
Mm-hmm.
like I feel okay with that time. But if for some reason, if there's no, not for some reason, I think it's kind of obvious, but when there's a camera on me, like try to push I try to always be painting
Yeah.
instead of just telling Danny, like, oh, let's stop recording and let's start recording in 20 minutes once this is like
Yeah.
thoroughly dry.
Or not even like stop the recording, but having like those quote unquote death moments.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, and I would like apologize to you, like, because I know I would feel weird that you would have to, that would take hard drive space, that would take time to edit
No,
or
but
to edit out.
yeah.
But I would like all those things would be in my brain
Yeah.
when doing the painting, and those things are just noise. Like that would be a bad way. That like those things are completely unnecessary thoughts to have when you're painting. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Matthew Lopez says, that's a lot of action figures. Have you ever tried doing comics?
Oh, yeah. These are that's my collection of hot toys.
Do you want me to show them again? Because they're
I'm
not
a little
seeing them.
I'm a little embarrassed.
Why?
I'm
They're
a little
super
bit,
cool.
but I think they're super cool.
They're super cool.
So,
I mean, I would love them to be my background, but I don't have where to put the computer and all that setup.
so I have some statues, some sideshow
You
statues.
want me to show them?
I have six statues,
Mhm.
and I have a bunch of toys. So a lot of people get like, oh my god, it's like maybe instead of buying like a cheap car, I just buy statues.
Cheap car?
Maybe Danny, I think it's getting out of hand. So maybe instead of like a cheap car,
So Alejandro
we have
Morales is
statues.
saying, show us.
Yeah,
Can I show?
you can do like a little.
So it's not gonna be the best quality because of the camera, but
Oh, you can just make everyone throw up and just carry the webcam. Handycam. That's like 1999 once their description back. You should narrate. You should. Oh, so I don't even know what you're showing. So those are the statues up there. That's like a Dark Side, a Hulk. Those are a bunch of Martin Canale. Martin Canale is like a dude from Argentina. He's a sculptor, like super, super old school sculptor from Argentina. And I wanted those sculptures for like years, for like more than 10 years. Like that Hulk, it's probably like 10, 12 years I've been wanting it. And I finally was able. That thing is amazing. Yeah. So those are the statues. And underneath, there's hot toys. So for the person that was saying that if I do comic books, I used to like that's what I went to school for. But that was my that was supposed to be my major when I went to school. But when I met people that were really good at comic books, I got super scared and I thought that I sucked. And I changed to illustration. I changed my major to illustration. So yeah, so there's an obvious love, even though I don't. I mean, I'm gonna come 100% clean here. I don't follow like comic books anymore. Like if you tell me, oh, what's going on with Batman now? Oh my god, like broad strokes, I know what's been going on in one of the Batman storylines, but I don't really know. No, but that's okay. Like I still have memories of the stuff that I love when I was a kid. So I think that that's what's driven this kind of wanting to have these awesome pieces. And honestly, they're like sculptures. I mean, this is
they
like
are.
yeah, but that's usually sounds like the sort of excuse like geeky, super geeky people like myself say, just
Mm.
to feel less uncomfortable,
No, but I
you
think they
know,
are.
after, spending a ton of money in toys. But I do feel like from an artist point of view, like I'm obsessed with how they paint the portraits, for
Yeah.
example. It is insane. It is like crazy how good these people are. Like right now I'm obsessed how they paint eyes.
Yeah,
Like
because
I
you got the
refuse to
Kylo Ren,
believe.
like,
Yeah, yeah, I refuse to believe that like a hand
can't do that.
can do that.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
amazing.
and these dudes are like they're from Hong Kong. Hot Toys is from Hong Kong. They're amazing, but I don't care how good you are. Like you can't be that good. Like those eyes are immaculate. Like they're just so perfectly and consistently painted that I just refuse. I refuse to believe that there can be people that are that good. It's obviously I'm being super ignorant here, but yeah. So I just love it. I think they're artists. They're obviously like tremendous artists. So I love that.
Oh,
I
and
absolutely love that.
I forgot to show the Batman Joker
Oh yeah, there's a little
some
little
and the robot.
Joker. Yeah, there's like a little Batman and Joker's shelf that I have with my Adam West Batman and a bunch of Jokers. Yeah. It's a little. I mean, honestly, it's a cool space to work in. It's a very cool space to work in, and that's all I want. Just to feel super super inspired every time I sit down and paint. And even though like my paintings have nothing to do with like all these amazing characters, it's just cool. This is like the um the young me that met the professional me, and we are being at peace with each other. So I think that that's super cool.
So Sachin Art says, "Wow, nice." Pintor Hacer dice, "Gracias, mi amigo." Renard says, "Wow, that's one hell of a collection." Matthews Lopez says, "Super cool." So yeah, they are super cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm, Alejandro Morales dice, ya lo había preguntado, pero creo que no escuché la respuesta.
Tranquilo.
Nicolás ha intentado pintar con acrílicos de Golden Open.
Esos son los que son más, que el tiempo de secado es mucho mayor a los que son tradicionales, ¿no es cierto? Si no estoy mal. O sea, sé cuáles son, pero no. No he probado pintar con ellos, si les soy sincero.
So Bernard was asking, did you have Jim McMullen
James
as a...
McMillan, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I didn't take class specifically with him because he was a little.
No termine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead,
no.
Danielita.
Let me finish and
Sorry.
then...
And then shut up.
No. As a teacher at SBA, I have his figure drawing book and have
Yeah.
loved its message. Any
Yeah.
memories? Or did you embody the ideas of the other teachers more at the time?
So I didn't have James's class, but it was called high focus drawing. But I did have somebody who taught exactly the same class as him, and the only reason I didn't take his class, well, one is because he was sort of like an asshole. Like I hate to say it, but he was like super mean with like people that were in class. Maybe not as mean as Jack Potter was. But I took Steve Gaffney. I think that was his name, Steve Gaffney, and he was I think he was SVA alumni. So I think he was a student of James McMullen. So they were teaching the same thing, high focus drawing, and I really loved that class. But I also took Sam Martin's drawing, which was far more shape oriented, a lot of like super 60s 70s illustration drawing, super super strong drawing. So James, a lot of the people that took James McMullen's class were illustrators, were the people that were doing not illustrators, I'm sorry, animators, were the people that were doing animation. But for us illustrators, it was a little bit easier, I think, to use the message that we were getting in the class and to apply it to what we were doing with in my case with Sam Martin's class. But for example, James Jean, I think James's drawing is very much a celebration of James McMullen's drawing. Like a lot of James's drawing notes, like a lot of the character in James's drawing, I there's no doubt in my mind that it comes from McMullen. So, yep,
Tim was
it's
asking,
a good book. But I had that book, so I think I don't know if we had to buy it for class. No, probably not. They wouldn't make us buy it, but I think I bought it just because I found it super super interesting. But yeah, it gorgeous gesture, rhythm. It's super helpful book.
did you study with Stephen Assel or am I confused?
No, he was my teacher. No, he's a bit older than me. So
Um, Pas, PASDKLASDASD.
okay, that's you read letters there.
Es que no sé. Sí,
¿Y en español o
en
en inglés?
español.
Ah, bueno. Léelo como si fuera en español.
Fast glass dust. No, eso no sé.
Past glass dads.
Fast class dust.
Bueno, ni idea qué es eso.
Dice, como artista, ¿crees que uno termina pintando lo que quiere o en lo que le va bien?
Pues chévere si esas dos cosas son lo mismo, ¿no? Pues es que no sé qué tampoco sé qué es lo que le va bien. O sea,
Pero
mm,
siempre lo que uno quiere, ¿no?
pues sí, yo pensaría que lo más chévere es decir que uno pinta es lo que quiere. Y, y pues no hay nada mejor que uno pinte lo que quiere y que de pronto, digamos, no tratemos de definir qué quiere decir le va bien a uno, sino que, que uno encuentra en haber hecho esas pinturas la respuesta que uno estaba buscando. O sea, es que no quiero asociarlo con que uno las vende o con que uno, la gente le da más likes o la gente las aprueba más. No, no quiero como definirlo de ninguna de esas maneras que se me hace re, reductivas. No, ¿eso es una palabra?
Sí.
Sí, reductivo es
Ujú.
palabra.
Yes.
Sí, se me hace que eso es poco. Pero no, pues supongo que el ideal es que uno primero haga lo que a uno le gusta. Y si a uno le gusta, como Morandi, hacer solamente botellas grises, pues y qué chimba, o sea, qué delicia pasarse la vida uno haciendo botellas grises. Y si hay una respuesta de la gente súper positiva al socializar esas botellas, y pues si uno quiere vivir de eso y además termina vendiendo todas las botellas grisecitas, y uno es feliz toda su vida haciendo botellas grises, pues que, o sea, increíble la vida. O sea, eso es como, no sé, pienso que esa sería como la vida perfecta.
Tim was asking, how were the classes with Stephen Assel? Special teacher or just average?
No, I think he was very very special. I really do. I think I as an instructor, I would say maybe there were other people uh that spoke to me in ways that probably had far more resonance than the things that Steve would tell me. Um, like I would never say that that's not true, but just watching him work was enough. Honestly, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like, oh, he got away with being a bad teacher just by working. No, 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 not at all. I mean, he was obviously a good teacher. Me as a human being, as a person, I just found that the relationship that I had with some other teachers was what I needed at that time when I was younger. But as a painter, I mean, I don't know if I understood myself as a painter back then, but at least it's somebody that was completely enamored of painting. I think that I've said it many many times, but I owe that fascination to painting and to painting from life to Steve. it was the first time I saw somebody do something like that in my life, and it just happened to be Steve Assel, who is one of the most amazing people at doing it. So yeah, I've been very very honest, and I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that he did change my life just for that fact, for that sole fact.
When we were showing the figures,
Yeah.
Matthews Lopez said, "Good to know. I'm trying to make the reverse path of yours. I'm a comic book colorist, but I'm also leaning towards traditional painting right now."
Oh, dude, nice, nice. You guys work your ass off, and I mean, colors right now are a little bit different than colors were when I was, maybe late '90s, just a huge fan of comic books. But what you guys do nowadays, it's just insane. It's just absolutely insane. I'm probably like a bigger fan of like super super simple coloring, like Dave Stewart coloring Magnolia. To me is just like god level. That's like some of the most brilliant, simple like color relationships that you can do in comic books. But you guys are amazing. I mean, I've seen some of you guys, post stuff, or I've seen what you do with the pages, and it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's gotten to the point where colorists are also like really good at understanding modeling, because it used to be that colorists didn't necessarily understand that well form, but nowadays you guys are like super good at understanding form, because if you see like original, I mean, for the people that do original pencil or inks, but or just original black and white digital work, like sometimes it's super flat, or even like shadows mm, don't really push form, and you guys start doing like reflected lights and all sorts of stuff that have to conform to those shapes. And the guys that are good, and you guys are really good, like it actually, it's a hell of a job. So yeah, kudos, dude, like respect. And it's awesome. I mean, if that's, I'm not saying one, like, I think they're both just jobs. My job is just to paint with like these paints, and your job is just to paint with like digital paints. But it really, it's just a different, it's a different job. But if you're feeling like you want to lean towards more traditional work, that's awesome. That's super cool.
Emily was saying, "I was just listening this morning to an old podcast you did where you were talking about the teacher that made you want to be a teacher."
Yeah, yeah, that was Steve. That was Steve. I think I always imagined when I contemplated, and this wasn't like, this wasn't early on in my career, but when I contemplated, and this probably wasn't even when I got hired to be a teacher at the university, because I didn't really understand what it meant to be a teacher. Like I thought that it was a super simple thing. Like, I'll just show people how I paint, and they can learn from that. I thought I wasn't being like super ego, like, oh, hey, this is how I paint. Like, you guys have to paint like this. No, it's just that I didn't know any other way to teach anyone how to paint. I just didn't get it. So when I eventually understood like the responsibilities that are inherent to teaching, I immediately remembered, both Stephen Max and David Soman and Sam Martin. But I remember that moment where I saw Steve, and I always wished that I could, that in some way I could be that person for somebody else. That I could, through, at least through just being super passionate about, what I do, I could become that person for somebody else. Like, I could just open that door for somebody and tell them, look, painting is amazing. It's like there's an incredible life ahead if you allow it to be. So, and I don't want to make it sound like I like it's some sort of cultish thing, but I do think painting is amazing.
Aldo was asking, "What kind of light do you use for paint?"
Lie?
Light.
Oh, light? Oh, we don't. We have a window.
Light?
Yeah, what kind of lie? That's super cool, actually. What kind of lie do you tell yourself, man, to paint? So there's a window coming this way. So I'm facing a window. It's actually a veiled window because
It has a screen,
yeah, the screens are down, and it's actually like a yellow. We get like a sort of yellow
But
tint
it's a
because
super big window because it's
it's
like
a large window. I mean, we're not going to say
large.
huge
No, but
window, but
it's
it's a
from the
large
floor
window.
to the ceiling.
Yeah, it's a large window.
And
And but what we really do is we shine two lights and bounce them off the ceiling, and that seems not to do much, but it actually does plenty. So that's what makes the light a little more diffused, and it makes painting a little bit easier. Because shining light directly onto a painting, it is hell for a painting. So
Nicolás, ¿qué? Dice que Nicolás.
Nicolás, ¿qué?
Leí primero la.
¿Qué?
O sea, leí la pregunta sin leer el nombre.
Yeah.
Alejandro Morales was asking, Nicolás, do the painters from the Ashcan school
Yeah.
have any influence in your painting?
Oh, they're amazing. They're all amazing. Probably like Bellows, Sloan, for sure. Henry, a little bit. Although, like many other painters, I probably saw a lot of value in his writing at the beginning. I don't know if so much in his painting, but yeah, Bellows is just ridiculous. Everything, and not just because of the boxing paintings, but yeah, he's incredible. And Sloan, just the very, Sloan is like a gutter hopper, like, just underbelly of the beast hopper. I feel it's incredible. Danny, I think I'm gonna move your eyes up because I don't like the.
No, go
I think
ahead.
that's what was kind of because something in the drawing has been bothering me, and it's I think it's that little gesture of the eyes. So I'm gonna move them up. So yeah, so they're incredible. I just want to emphasize that all of them. Probably the simple ones for me are the or the most obvious ones are probably Bellows with the boxing paintings. Just because I did some boxing paintings also. So and how could you not reference Bellows if you're doing a boxing painting? But no, just the need to speak about this unadorned, life, I feel is enormous.
Peter Smickens was saying, you do exactly what you were telling. Last 2 years of watching you paint and be passionate about art was pure magic. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Callum was saying, taking a step back from painting after the 24-hour stream, trying to work from draftsmanship more, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Enjoy the stream from yesterday when you talked on doing the painting you want to do. Something to work on for 2022.
Yeah, that's actually also something for me. It's like just paint something that you like. Paint the painting that you would love to see. Paint the sort of painting that you would love to go to a museum and see. Like, what does that painting look like?
Yeah.
Like,
Which is
what
easier saying?
Oh
than
yeah,
doing?
oh
I
yeah.
mean,
This is for sure not easy. But it kind of makes sense. Like, do the painting like that. Whenever you say like, oh my god, it would be so cool, or like this sort of painting would be so cool, it's like that's the painting that you have to make. You know how Danny, you know how many times when people comment, other people's work, and they've done it with me, and that's totally fine. But
like comment like trying to adjust what they
yeah,
did.
like trying to say like that they wish they're like something that you're doing
Yeah, I know
was
which one.
something else.
Yeah.
I always tell people, no, I mean, great, thank you, but this is what I made. Like out of everything that I could have made, this is what I decided to
Yeah.
make, right? And I always tell people, maybe when people comment those sort of things, it's the painting that they want to
yeah.
make. So I always tell them, that sounds amazing. You do
You
it.
should do it. Yeah.
Yeah, go crazy. You do that.
Yeah.
I think that's that sometimes criticism or we don't understand how to listen to criticism, I feel, and that's how we become super defensive sometimes. But many times when people are saying something, they speak more about what they would yearn to see, and if they have the ability to do it, or if they can have the means to do it, it's always good to remind them. It's like, oh, that sounds awesome. You should do that.
Yeah.
It's like, we've talked about that with the Encanto movie. It's like when people are like super critical of all those things, it's like, oh, the movie doesn't speak about these aspects of Colombia. And maybe the people that are talking are animators. It's like, dude, why don't you make that movie?
Yeah.
Like, if that's the movie that you would have wanted to see, make that movie.
Yeah.
Do a short, do a 4-minute short that speaks about that. Like, spend the next 2 years doing a short about those things that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
But don't, like, this movie is done. It's done. It's finished.
Yeah, like don't criticize something for what it's not.
Yeah, it's like you can spend so much time saying what something is not. Like
yeah.
infinite amount of lifetimes
Yeah.
saying, I don't like it because it's not blah 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 blah. So many times I just tell people, try to, like, if you're the recipient of that criticism, don't take it the wrong way, because sometimes it's like it's not as hurtful as it sounds. It's just like, I think it's misdirected almost. And just remind people when they're saying like stuff like that, just remind them, oh, that sounds so cool. You do it.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like an awesome project. You should do it.
Yeah, Callum was saying, I have the paintings in my head, but I'm not there yet to get them down on paper. But I feel like when you keep trying, one will get there. I'm excited about getting there.
Awesome.
And Samuel Duarte was asking, hi, do you print the reference picture or do you use a screen or tablet? Thank you.
So just a phone. So I'm working directly from the phone. So it's a small-ish image.
You know, I feel the lens is pretty good. It's looking pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's
awesome.
looking good.
Good. Now we know that we have
That possibility too.
alternatives to
Yeah.
what we were doing last year. So that's kind of good. And we didn't have to spend that much money. So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the other lens would be better.
No, this one's, it looks super good.
Like a native Sony zoom lens would be better.
Yeah,
but
also
again,
if you already had the other lenses, I mean,
yeah, I could have tried to like sell them and sell my whole like camera with the lenses, and maybe use that to buy like a lens, which was crazy. But for the amount of money that I could have gotten, I probably would have had the money for like not even like a lens, which is crazy, like a new lens. But yeah, I'm happy that I'm happy that it works.
So Renard was saying, I'm so excited
I
and
just can't hide it.
a little nervous for Menorca.
Oh,
Have-
dude, that's awesome. You're gonna be there.
Yeah, have you set the specific exercises for us in your mind already?
Yeah, we even like discussed it with Danny. They are.
No, but if you haven't tell them, I don't
No,
know
no,
if
no,
you
no. I
can-
can't, and a lot of them I can't.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna be like, I don't know if you can discuss the information here.
Well, I could, but it would be pointless to like. It wouldn't make sense then to share them. But let's just say that the purpose is to feel uncomfortable. It's gonna be one of those workshops that.
But now you're gonna make Renard more nervous.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those workshops that I think everyone's gonna be like, oh, come on, like, oh,
Like trying to get you away from your comfort zone, I
Yeah.
would say.
yeah. So I think it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be cool.
But open mind, dude. Open mind, and don't fight it. And I think it's awesome.
Renard said, LOL, I'm already there.
Awesome.
Geneva R says, hey guys, how do you know which art career / direction to head to? I feel like I like many things, but it's hard to decide.
Like, what are you trying to decide? What are the things that you're trying to decide between? Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, and also what do you do? I mean, because Because maybe she says like animation or uh, painting, but if we don't know what she does.
Well, maybe she's a student. Maybe they're a student.
Renard said, honestly, I'm stoked to be a part of it.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're super happy. That's April.
Yeah. Mm, so let's wait for Geneva.
And honestly, nothing super out of the ordinary. Don't think it's like, oh my god, like, my brain is gonna blow up. No, no, no. Just fundamental stuff, but in a way, hopefully, or in a context where I think it's gonna be really helpful. Where I think the experience is gonna be super cool. Which I do think that like uh workshops like the one in Menorca, they have to feel different. They kind of have to. If it's just about going there and painting from a model, then maybe you feel, okay, I could have done this anywhere. But I think maybe if it feels like a retreat where like your mindset has to be put to test, like what the things that are comfortable to you are put to test, I think that that's super cool. I think that that's going to be super interesting. And I've never done something quite like that, so it's going to be interesting for us also. We'll see.
Mm, Geneva said, animation, painting, visual development. I honestly love it all.
Ooh, that's a lot.
But
Um,
I was thinking, I don't know where you live, but maybe they have something similar to the career I did,
mm-hmm.
which was
Like visual
it was
arts.
called visual arts. Yeah, but we had three semesters, sorry, that were like all the people who entered the career had the same classes, and after that you could choose if you want to be in the plastic emphasis,
Remember, it's
the
fine arts.
graphic.
Yeah, it's. I know that that's the word we use,
Oh,
Danny.
plastic. Okay,
Yeah, but maybe
so
other people
fine
don't
arts.
understand it. Yeah.
Okay, fine arts, graphic, or animation and like visual. How do I say? Como digo audiovisual?
Audio
Audiovisual.
visual. Yeah, audio visual. So you could do documentaries, shorts, you could do animation
Yeah.
there.
So maybe you can look for a career that's a little open at the beginning, so you can get to know the things, and you can get to paint or draw or try animation, and then see in that semesters what you really like, so you can focus on that.
I
And
wonder if she's already there.
oh, I don't know, because they were asking which art career or direction to head to,
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
that's why I was like suggesting.
Yeah. For me it was super simple. And I wasn't like it scared me at the beginning, but I knew I wanted to be a comic book artist. And I realized very quickly that I just wasn't going to be good at it. Like I wasn't going to cut it as soon as I met people that were very good at it. Um, and that I can tell you that scared me momentarily for sure, because you kind of start doubting yourself if you're that, you start asking yourself if you were that good to begin with. Why would you have started in this thing that's full of like super talented people? But I think the change to illustration for me was just it was just a blessing, really, because it pushed me from feeling like I had no idea what I was going to do because I didn't feel I was good enough to feeling right at home. So yeah. And it also, I mean, I was going to say sometimes it helps to visualize yourself, like to visualize the sort of stuff that you want to do. But dude, honestly, like that took a long time for me to understand. So don't like rush into that also, cuz that sometimes takes a long time to figure out.
mm, so Sachin Arts, when we were talking about the workshop, was asking,
Yeah.
how can I get exercise. I would like to be part of that. And they said they were saying hi from Mumbai.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
So I don't know if they're referring to how to get into a workshop,
Yeah,
maybe.
that particular workshop is in situ. Like it has to. It's going to take place in a sort of retreat
Yeah.
almost. So in Menorca, in the island of Menorca. That's not set up by us, by the way. That's set up by two wonderful dudes that I've worked with before, uh, and
And they have a workshop called Menorca Pulsar.
yeah. So that's going to be through them, but that unfortunately is only open to the people that can attend.
Mm, Bernard was saying, I agree with that philosophy, like Sean Chetham's whipping curse mentality. I've never had formal training, so new ways to see are always welcome. And they were also saying, Danny, are you going to soak up the sun? Or do you have something devilish for us to hidden up your sleeve?
Oh, Danny's gonna come, and she's gonna help out for sure. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
soak up the sun.
And yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'll take a day off to soak up the sun too. Very needed. um, Callum was saying, I think you spoke about it, but I think I have often painted borrowing ideas from other artists as a crutch. Do you ever do studies? And how do you approach them in a way not to just copy? I'm gonna go for water. So,
Yeah. Um, have I done studies? Yeah, tons of them. But I think I study things in the sense not that I'm hoping that what I discover or whatever knowledge I can obtain from studying them can be then translated or transplanted into my painting. I don't think I see studies, in that way. And I don't know if it's just a very inefficient way of seeing studies. It's just that I don't. That's just simply not the way I see them. When I do studies, it's just like an effort to understand. It's almost like you're trying to put yourself in the painter's shoes and saying, "Oh my God, what did she do when she decided to make these decisions? Why did she make these, like, why what prompted her to make these particular decisions, and what effect did it have on the final painting?" And you're trying to learn from people that are, incredibly talented, um, to like decision making, problem solving, um, and I think that that's like the best way to approach it, in the sense that if you separate yourself from that, and you're always understanding that you are kind of like outside looking in, just trying to take a peek into this process, then you're not really going to feel this sort of angst or this need to then have that become a part of your painting. You don't really have to study things that are similar to the stuff that you would want to do. You can study a lot of stuff that's not quite as obvious. You can like artists that are not, that it wouldn't be that simple to say, "Oh yeah, I can totally see the influence that she has on your work." No, you can spend a long time studying people that apparently, that have no apparent or no direct impact on what you do. So yeah, I think that that's the way I've approached it. It's just learning wonderful problem solving through the effort of other geniuses that have selflessly shared what they do with us.
mm, Tim was asking, Nicolas and Danny, what's your position on learning anatomy, not comic book artist?
Um, is it? What do you think? What do you think? Danny, because I have a specific experience, but
Yeah, because I
I'm
never learned
right,
anatomy
right.
in art school. So, but in my experience, I would
Yeah.
say I wouldn't be opposed to it because, as I always say, I think knowledge is always good. I mean, it never takes away from you, but gives you something. So I think it's not bad. Um, but I would also mm, try not to like make anatomy my main focus, maybe because of the way I like to draw. Because I like to um try to translate what I'm seeing. So I'm not thinking about structure or whatever, but I'm just making it like a observation exercise. So yeah, I don't know what you were gonna say.
Um, I'm kind of with you there. It's just I've always felt like I agree with you that it's knowledge, and but the thing is, and I 100% agree with that. Like knowledge can never, um,
Harm you.
yeah, it can never be an obstacle, but sometimes, and specifically with very classical sort of stuff, it can become a burden. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Yeah.
many times if you learn how you're supposed to do
Yeah,
something,
maybe that's what I was trying to say. That's why I said like because I like seeing and
mm-hmm,
trying to not think about the structure behind what I'm seeing,
mm-hmm,
but just like trusting my eyes
yeah,
and my own drawing.
yeah,
So, because also I think that in that I'm similar to you, that I'm not looking for like a perfect, like you're not painting me perfectly accurate.
yeah,
And that's what you like. And that's also what I like. Like, I don't want to have like a perfect copy and understand that maybe, I don't know, the painting's wrong because the eye socket isn't where it should be or something like that.
right. Yeah,
So,
that's just like that's a very super simple way of understanding, like, of seeing a painting. I feel, or seeing like a drawing. Just if that was the only way, it would be so easy to fix something. Like if it was just about measuring something
yeah.
or saying like, oh, this is, this is off because there's actually, I don't know, a scapula under here, and this is the shape of the scapula, and this is how it, functions. um, yeah, it would be super easy, but it also would be incredibly boring because then everyone would be constructing their images based on the very same information. And I think that that's very, well, I would say that that's boring. That's super boring. That would make for maybe a very solid art world, but a very boring art world for sure. So, a lot of the artists that I love, and I think a lot of the ones that Danny
Yeah.
also likes, there's always something weird and
Yeah.
wrong. I
There.
mean, wrong
Yeah.
when viewed under a lens that only,
Like
you
an
know,
academic lens.
yeah, that only sees, uh, stuff like form, proportion, structure, anatomy, that only sees like those as the, sort of primordial building blocks of image making. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that both Danny and I love, adore, that would always feel wrong. That would
Yeah.
always be understood as, oh, that's off, that's wrong. You
Yeah.
shouldn't do that. So I, yeah, I would always be careful with the use that we give that information, because that's all it is. It's information.
Yeah.
It's information. It's just, if you learned how if you learned comparative anatomy and you learned how a horse's, the mechanics of a horse's, body, that's super cool. But if you used that information to then do whatever the hell you want, that's awesome. That's super awesome. It doesn't mean that because you learned all that information that then the unavoidable result has to be just this, perfect representation of a horse, like this very faithful, natural representation of a horse. No, you can do whatever you want with that information. You can completely disregard it if you want, also.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, anatomy is one of those things that we couple or we sometimes put in the same sort of basket with a bunch of other classical ideas of the construction of images, and my only concern is that those things would sort of skew the way you see yourself and would start to make you believe that you don't draw well enough all the time, like you would always just feel like, oh my god, like this is so wrong, this is so off, my proportions are wrong. Then I'm not going to be able to make something that's good because my proportions are off. So I wouldn't, like, I would just be careful with that doesn't start to give you a wrong idea of the artist that you are.
Yeah, so Callum said, on the topic of anatomy, I think you need to know the rules to break them. A perfect example, not to keep mentioning him, is James Jean, super stylized, but he
Mm-hmm.
can also do realism. Another example is look up Disney Tarzan anatomy. They had to show where the muscles fit on the cartoon to figure on the cartoon figure of Tarzan, so he felt believable. Yeah, but because that's what they wanted.
And
Like
I'm
that's
gonna
how.
say, I'm gonna quote James Jean here. He has said that he owes everything he knows about anatomy to comic books. So take that as you will, but that's literally like a James Jean quote. And I understand where you're coming from, Callum,
Yeah,
by saying you have to know the rules to like break them. But
but it
could
depends
you
on the intent you
imagine?
have.
Yeah, could you imagine having to go through like the what's literally like all the knowledge that was collected for centuries in art that have to do with this classical process that almost like culminates with academy, um and you have to go through all of that just to be able to paint whatever you want. I don't i don't think that you have to go through all of that hell to earn the right. You don't. You know what earns you the right to say whatever you want? The fact that when you say it, it's a powerful message.
Yeah.
I think that that's when you start to understand. Wow, I understand myself, and I understand. I would say much more important than knowing those things is knowing your limitations, like understanding your limitations, which we all have, and working within those limitations. Because this doesn't mean like if you start with art history, like there's a ton of artists that are not great at drawing. They're not, they don't have the same ability. Not all these amazing, painters that we consider old masters, they don't have the same ability at all. There's like, humongous differences between their ability when you compare them to each other. And yet it doesn't quite stop them from being geniuses. Like none of that became like an obstacle to make incredibly powerful works of art. So I would say it's like the first thing you have to know is your own limitation, and then how to use intelligently those limitations to your advantage, and just say, okay, this is, if I try to do something, like let's say if I tried right now to paint like Bouguereau, I would look like an idiot. Like an idiot. I would feel completely out of place. I would feel like I can't paint, like I don't understand painting, like I am less like there's in my mind there would be a version of the painter that I would be at that moment that is a lesser painter than the one that I feel I am right now. I hope I said that okay. Did that come out
Yeah.
okay?
Well, I got it. So.
Okay, so that's when I feel like things can get super distorted, super distorted, and of course I'm not Bouguereau. Of course I'm not. Like I'm never gonna be Bouguereau, but I'm never gonna be. I'm not gonna ever be Bouguereau. Not because I realized, oh my god, that's so fucking difficult. Like I don't have the patience. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna much rather just draw like clumsily and try to use that as a shield and say that, behind that is an intent that is allowing me to draw like crap. No, not at all, dude. No. If I probably felt that Bugoro was the way when I was younger, you better believe that that would have been my path. Like, I would have incessantly tried to learn everything I could from working that way, and I probably would have gone to like different schools after that,
Yeah.
or but my path would have been completely different. But the thing is, I can't hide the fact that when I look at Goja, I am completely moved by its awkwardness. Or when I look at El Greco, like, I love it, and it has nothing to do with Bouguereau. Absolutely nothing to do with Bouguereau. So, or when I look at Toulouse-Lautrec, I'm, it's like, okay, that's me. That is what I love. And Toulouse-Lautrec had Cormon as a teacher, Cormon. He's like one of the most talented academic painters of the time. And he was like, oh, fuck this class. And he left. He left. And he had one of the most incredible painters, like, enormous amount of knowledge. And Lautrec said, oh, fuck this. I'm out. And that's okay. Like, that has to be okay. So I think we do have to acknowledge that for those geniuses to be, they had to have said, fuck this. I don't want to paint like this anymore. Like, and it's not like, okay, yeah, Lautrec did, 2 years in the academy and he's learned enough. No, he didn't. He didn't like to draw that way. He didn't like to paint that way. He didn't enjoy it. He hated it. He hated everything about the academy. So I don't know. I think that, again, all of our paths are different, but I don't think we can just blanket statement say you have to learn it so you can
Yeah.
break it. I don't think it's that simple, and I understand the sentiment behind that, but that certainly has not been the case with many amazing artists during art history. So yeah, whatever works. I always tell people whatever works for you. They like,
Yeah, like if you feel you're lacking knowledge in anatomy, like go ahead and learn anatomy. But if it has nothing to do with the path you want to follow, then you really don't need to. I mean, I was thinking we always talk about Wilfrid Wood,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know if Wilfrid Wood would gain something by learning anatomy. No. I mean,
Oh, not there's no
no.
need. I would even
Yeah.
say, like, there's no need, none whatsoever.
Yeah, and maybe that could get in the way of how he draws today.
Right,
So,
right.
so yeah, I'm 100% with you when you say that it's not the only path. I mean, for someone's maybe it's going to be the best decision to learn anatomy, but it's not something that you need to know to
Yeah,
make
like if
art.
you're in character development for video games, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and in the
yes.
example of Tarzan,
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
if Callum
Tarzan,
loves
is it?
traditional illustration,
Yeah.
traditional animation, I'm sorry. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, these like old school were like, people doing like Cinderella and stuff like that, and like Snow White, and
Yeah.
uh but uh but old school as in more traditional Disney,
Yeah.
like late, mid to late 90s Disney. Oh, hell yeah, of course. Or like Disney, like the sort of stuff that we talked about when I did the Rescuers, when I was talking about the Rescuers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Madame Medusa. Yeah, I mean, come on, those guys are crazy good. Those guys are some of the best drafts people of all of animation history. That's for sure, for sure. Um, but I do think that there are things that you can push. Las Trillizas de Belleville, ¿cómo se llama esa peli en inglés? ¿Puedes buscar? Yeah, because that movie, the triplets of, because I just want to get the name right, because I know it in
Triplets
Spanish.
of Believable, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that movie is incredible. We should watch it again because
Yeah.
we have the Blu-ray. But that movie's amazing, and for example, the cyclist in that movie
Yeah.
is incredible. But the anatomy in him is so like like distorted and so weird. Like his legs are like so huge, and it's amazing. It's like this to me. That's like the perfect use of the knowledge of anatomy. It's not perfect. It's not academic. It's not nothing. Could you search for an image of that
Yeah.
cyclist? Because it is so good that I just love it. I think that that's like a perfect example. So you get me talking, Danny, and I don't paint.
This one? You think this one's good?
Yeah, maybe one that shows his legs,
Okay.
like just the disproportion between his upper body and his lower body. I think that's amazing.
So this one?
Yeah, that's look at that. And he's just constantly cycling, so that he's got those enormous legs that usually cyclists are like that, like their upper body is just 0% fat and their legs are just incredibly powerful. But that sort of stuff I adore. I think that that's just such a beautiful, super like gestural way of understanding the mechanics of the body, which I feel are far more important than just plain anatomy. Or in my time, it was the that Matrix short of the dude that was running the 100-meter sprint. I feel that was super cool when I was younger. I remember I haven't watched that for a long time, but I have to watch it again. Maybe it hasn't aged that well. Maybe some of you guys have seen it recently, but I remember just watching that. That's probably like my favorite short in that Matrix animated, you know, I don't know, exercise, whatever that kind of collection, that anthology was. I forget what it was. Animated Matrix, maybe that's what it was called. Animatrix, wasn't it that? Wasn't what that was called?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
And maybe someone can argue that that cyclist has some sort of anatomy.
Oh, I mean,
But yeah.
it's a representation of a human body.
Yeah, but
So
I was thinking, for example, yesterday that you painted Horace Pippin.
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't like Horace Pippin work if it had like perfect anatomy.
Oh yeah, it would be nonsense.
Like it would be a completely different thing.
Yeah,
And
it
the
would be
magic,
absurd.
yeah, and like the beautiful thing about his work is like the way he sees things and the way he paints the things he sees that are not accurate at all
Mm-hmm.
to
Exactly.
anatomy, but
Yeah.
they're completely beautiful. So yeah, I think those are examples that you really don't have to learn anatomy. Like if you want to, you can, but if you don't, like you really don't need to learn it to have a super powerful image.
Like for example, in the sculptures that we have, Danny, we have Sandy, which is amazing. We have Hellboy, the Andrea Blasic Hellboy, or Blasic Hellboy, that he has like knowledge of form. But if you compare that with like Hot Toys, for example, or with the anatomy knowledge of Martin Canale,
Yeah,
or
they would be
or
inaccurate.
Daniel Bell in that Batman Beyond, like there's like, come on, they're like those dudes have a ton more knowledge. But it doesn't mean that Andrea Blasic can't make a sculpture. Like he'll make these gorgeous like sculptures because he understands form. Like it goes beyond just having an understanding of anatomy. It's just he understands three dimensionality of form. And there's so like, I think that I don't know what else we have in terms of like sculpture, that, or like Fernando Rosas. I mean, there's sculpture in there. There's an anatomy and form in there, but I think it's beyond like anatomy.
Yeah.
It's just like this gorgeous pure understanding again of three dimensionality. I feel that that's so much more important. And I would say in animation, like the mechanics of something in motion are far more important than just anatomy. And I'm sure that like they're all tied together in the end. But for example, I'm
Mary
sure,
and Max.
yeah,
I
or
mean,
Mary and Max,
my
yeah,
favorite
like
song.
wonderful stop motion animation doesn't necessarily have to do that to be expressive. Or I'm sure, Callum, you've probably seen Tekon Kinkrit. Tekon Kinkrit is amazing. And it's just like it is the most abstract shit ever. Like sometimes when the little bodies are like that big in the screen, they're just like triangles that just move like bodies. Like what anatomy would you ever think is in there? There's like nothing. It's just shapes. It's just like weird shapes that sort of become human like, in nature. So I don't know. I think I like I said, Callum, I understand where you're coming from, but I do feel that that's not necessarily the only path.
Yeah, and it's not necessary in all the cases.
Yep.
So let me read a little bit of the comments of the conversation they were having in the comments of anatomy.
Yep.
So Callum was saying, I think it's a case of not being turned off from learning. Feel like a lot of people want the quick fix, uh, i.e., i.e. is example.
Yep.
Can I get away with learning nothing about X? I feel like it's skipping to the end of the journey of learning. When you work will be a culmination of your learning. There is no skipping in my opinion.
Yeah. So I know that you're gonna read more stuff, Danny, but
Mm-hmm.
just to answer to that, no, you're totally right, and that's what we were saying. Like, I think and Danny and I have often spoken about this. The problem is when you lie to yourself. Like, if you are deeply interested in and you want to learn about anatomy, even if it's horribly tough, like go for it,
Yeah.
do it. Even if it takes you 2, 3, 4 years to learn, do it. Do it. But I don't think anything is gained from saying, "Oh, this is too tough. I'm out." And I'm going to look for like an easier way out. Yeah, no, that's just lying to yourself. And then just bullshitting your way um through shortcomings that should never feel like you should be hiding them. Like there's no reason to hide the things that you're not good at. But if you hide them behind like bullshit, that's when you're lying to yourself. So yeah, for sure.
JP said artists have chased the naivety of children's drawings all through the 20th century. I look back on my work before I learned quote unquote the rules, and I'm
Mhm.
surprised by the creativity I had then. Um, Renard said, if anatomy brings you joy and it's used in the works that came after that, which build that joy again, I think that's a good indicator that the training is vital to one's individual practice. Um, Gabriel Pozo said, reference can also help a lot. James Jean isn't smart enough to know when he needs the reference.
Oh yeah.
There's such an emphasis on learning to such details that the end goal gets sidetracked. Sorry. Um, Geneva said shape design is as important as anatomy. Sergio G said my animation drawing teacher was all about gesture and silhouette. Um, yeah, Yef said
I
how do
thought you were
you
going to, yeah, I thought you were doing, yeah, yeah.
said
Sorry.
how do you spell the decor concrete?
Oh,
Decor.
Tekon Kinkrit?
Ah,
Yeah. Sorry. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Oh, that's like one of the coolest animes like movie ever. That's like legendary. And I can say that, and this is coming from like a absolute, lack of knowledge in anime. So
yeah, but let me. So I'm gonna write. Just maybe it's not as easy as if you said.
Tekon Kinkrit, I think
Yeah.
it's T E
No,
K
no, no. I
O
just
N. Okay.
pasted.
Oh,
Oh, and
okay,
they were
okay.
answering too. So,
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Sergio G said another teacher was all about knowing the anatomy and why a bump looks the way it does on the body. Um,
You know the best thing you can do? Have different teachers. That's the best thing you can have. Like instead of just having one teacher, one drawing teacher, and you follow that one drawing teacher for the rest of your career, have five and always answer to those 5. Don't come like when you enter into one teacher's class, don't try to draw like the other teacher. Try to draw like what they're asking of you. Like no excuses, just really try to put yourself into that mindset of that particular class and try to do that. Super super difficult because drawing is not like shifting gears all of a sudden. Um, but if you can do that, you're going to get the best of every single world out there because you are going to be learning and trying to learn from teachers with different philosophies, and you're going to understand that drawing is far broader than any one of those particular philosophies. It's far far bigger. So my honest suggestion: take as many teachers as you can. Like milk the crap out of all your classes. Just like take gain as much knowledge as you can from every one of those teachers, each and every one of those teachers. You'll see it does pay off.
And
I promise.
I think we've said this before, but I also think that that helps when people ask how to not copy the style of the person you're trying to study. Like if you study a lot of different artists,
Oh yeah, your
then you
brain is
have
going to
like
be
a
so fried.
yeah, you have like a terrible soup, so you're not copying no one.
Yeah,
You're
there's
just like your brain is just like trying to grab information
and
where they can.
the only way out is going to be just by you finding your
Yeah.
own way out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's going to be cool too. Yeah, for sure. Faux
Oh,
show.
show. Jay was asking, what kind of work did you do as an illustrator? What mediums did you work with?
So I did do some paperback covers, not many, and I did for like super small publications, so nothing to be super proud about. But mainly it was a lot of animatics and a lot of storyboarding. So yeah, yeah, that was mainly it. So storyboards for that either eventually would become storyboards for pitches that would eventually become, commercials, like TV commercials, and that would maybe at some point turn into animatics, and that we would do them with Copic markers. So yeah, I had never used markers before in my life, by the way.
Um, Jean Brusin was asking, probably a question you've answered before,
Don't
but I'm
worry.
wondering where
Yeah.
can we find out information ahead of time as to when you'll be doing these live sessions? So
Uh
maybe I can do again the countdown
yes,
for every
yes.
session.
Yeah. We've been a little late on these because we were starting, new year, and we were just trying things out with our camera.
Yeah.
So so we apologize for that. But usually it's 1:30
1:30
1:30
Colombian.
Colombian time, which is
Yeah.
GMT.
-5.
Greenwich Mean Time -5. Is that what it means?
No,
Yeah.
Greenwich.
Yeah, Greenwich.
Oh, is it Greenwich in English?
I think
Greenwich
so.
es meridiano de Greenwich.
Yeah, Greenwich.
Greenwich meridian? I don't
Greenwich
know.
Mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's Greenwich Mean Time
Yeah?
-5.
Because
Yeah.
I learned
I
that
feel
in
super
Spanish.
ignorant if that's
No,
wrong.
no, es que es
But let me
la
know. Let me
hora
know if
del
I'm like super off.
meridiano de Greenwich, pero
Yeah. But let me know if I'm off. But I think that's what it means. Like for some reason that's in my brain.
mm, yeah.
Yeah?
So in English, it's Greenwich Mean Time Zone. In Spanish,
Yeah.
meridiano de Greenwich.
What I don't know, Danny, if it's Greenwich or Greenwich.
No, it says Greenwich.
No, I know it's spelled like that, but that's how you spell Greenwich Village also. So that's why I have that in my
Oh.
brain, in like my New York brain. So
Yeah, but I have no idea because I didn't learn that in English, so I'm lost in that. But yeah, we are planning to do all the live streams 1:30 p.m. GMT -5.
yes.
And also, I was thinking, I don't know what you think about that, but
What's that?
maybe I can do a banner for
Banner. Yep.
YouTube.
Sure. Yeah.
And maybe it can have like the info, like Monday, blah.
Oh, dude. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I don't. I think it's
You
the first
never,
time.
yeah, you never
First time I
say
call you
dude to
dude.
me. Yeah,
I
was
know.
like,
I know. I don't even know if that's like good anymore or if
yeah.
that's like problematic.
No, I don't know,
Calling
but it
somebody.
was weird because you never call
Yeah,
me
yeah.
dude.
That was us. That was us being friends.
Yeah. Um. Uh. Jean Rosine said 1:30. And have you decided on which days?
So we think it's gonna be Monday. So Monday is gonna be our unveiling, quote unquote, conversation day,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, extraordinarily, I think we could do Fridays, but not really. Let's say that it's gonna be those 4 days because I think 4 days is good. And it gives us enough time to do all the other stuff. Like the only reason that we're doing 4 days and not 5 is because we have to find time to work the other paintings that we have to do. So yeah, so that's why.
Yeah, because Jean Rosine was saying, I see it on Instagram and it's too late. LOL. So yeah, I'm gonna be a lot more careful and let the premiere thing so you can get the notification of YouTube when we're going to stream. Uh, Callum said, yeah, Greenwich, meantime. We also have St. Andrews, meantime.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I have no idea. I only learned about the other one. And Callum said, pronounce Greenwich.
Okay.
So,
St. Andrews.
Greenwich. So I was good. Meridiano de Greenwich.
I was fine. You were saying Greenwich.
No.
Dude, what?
Meridiano de Greenwich. Es
What?
que yo ni siquiera
Oh, Danny, you're
We have
you're.
to-
I was saying Greenwich.
No.
Yeah. You were saying Greenwich.
No,
I
yo dije
promise you. I
Meridiano de
love you.
Greenwich.
I love you so much, but you were saying Greenwich.
Pero si en español siempre
Like
fue
the Green
Greenwich.
Witch, like Dorothy,
No.
like the house landed on the Green Witch.
No. We have to go back in the video because
I don't have to. I'm
no,
100% sure.
I
Like
learned in Spanish and it was Meridiano de Greenwich.
no, what? Ask people. Don't trust me.
Greenwich.
Don't trust me. Oh my God,
I
Danny's
even
losing
said-
her mind.
I was even saying Greenwich.
Oh my God, Danny,
Greenwich.
who replaced you in the last 5 minutes?
Meridiano de Greenwich.
Okay, I don't believe me. Believe the audience.
So, Ali Asari, I think they were trying to help us, but I'm a little bit more lost because they say Greenwich, ¿cómo se dice guión?
Dash.
Greenwich, listen, Gran dash itch, so Greenwich.
Yeah, that's how it. I pronounce
Green.
it like New York, like Greenwich Village.
Green dash IJ. Greenwich.
What? What is
Green
that? What was all that?
Dash itch, Greenwich, or Gren dash ish.
Okay, that's not.
So,
That's.
Greenwich,
I'm gonna say it's Greenwich.
Greenwich,
Oh,
or
stop it.
Greenwich.
No, I'm gonna say it's Greenwich. I'm gonna go with Greenwich.
No, so you were right because Jean Racine says I'm Team Danny, but she said green. LOL. Green? Green?
Yeah, that's fine. That's
Greenwich.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
maybe.
Oh, if you guys were here with all of our discussions,
Yeah.
what do I do to have you guys here always as
Yeah,
witnesses?
and Alia Sari was saying he pronounced it right. So you pronounced it right.
But I never like to be right.
Malvinitías dice Meridiano de Bruja Verde. Callum said, yeah, there is a line in St. Andrews, Scotland. They
Yeah,
had
that's
a
where
battle
the,
about which was going to be the accepted time convention for the UK.
What? That's where the golf course is, right? The Masters is St. Andrews, right? Or maybe I'm mistaken, but I don't.
Alex May said, started watching the OPL Daily Project just before Christmas. Now I'm on week 16. I love it.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
You've been binge watching.
Yeah, thank
the
you. That's
OPL
awesome.
Videos. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. Oh, and Ali Asari
Yeah.
uh, that was saying the green dash itch, green dash
Green
I,
itch?
green
That sounds
dash.
that sounds a little more yeah. You got to go
Well,
to a doctor for that.
they were saying sorry. I copy pasted that from Google. Um, Tim said, since moving to live streams, English and Spanish are mixed, and that is awesome. But since there aren't martes de español anymore, can we have martes de Dani painting? Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, never say never. Remember, Danny, like
Yeah, for
maybe.
now, I don't think so. So let's change.
I mean, a lot of stuff can change with time.
Yeah, but for now, no. Because also, that would be like,
What? That would be awesome.
no, like, I was gonna say like 15 hours of a stream. Because that's what it takes me to end.
No, you just work for 4 hours and then wherever
And I
you.
have 2 lines.
No, well, if
Yeah.
you have two lines, you have two lines. That's fine.
Yeah, but that's so nice, team, but not for now. Um, so Callum said, yeah, the final hall is in the middle of the town. My family used to live there.
Oh, that's awesome. All I remember, because I love sports, but um, of St. Andrews is just windy as hell. I know that there's a particular hole that almost everyone just like drives into. I don't know if it's like a par three hole, but everyone just like goes like down the because that's like it's como un acantilado.
Mhm.
There's like a drop,
Mhm.
like
How do you
and
say acantilado in
I
English?
forget. I forget.
Cliff.
Well, yeah, that one's easy,
Yeah.
but yeah, that one's was way too close.
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be a better one just to make me feel less ashamed.
Bluff.
Yeah, but there's
Steep.
yeah, there's a significant drop I feel. So when people would over or misjudge the wind or just overshoot it, um yeah, the ball just goes into the ocean, I feel. Maybe I'm exaggerating. You correct me,
Callum.
Callum.
So Alia Sari was saying, may I ask something, please? Yeah, of
Anything,
course. And not
anything.
only one thing. I mean, anything you want to ask, you or anyone, you can ask anything.
And like we said, Danny is our bouncer at the door.
Oh yeah,
So
if
if
you're
it's so
if you're
you
rude,
ask if you ask something that is unnecessarily rude, Danny will just not even read it. So
yeah. No, but you can ask about anything. I mean, I think this is maybe the only live stream we haven't talked about food or dogs or pets. So, yeah, you can ask about anything you want. So, Alia Sari said, I see that your painting changes so much from the beginning to the end.
yeah.
Do you put all the colors thinking that you're going to change it gradually till you get it right? Or do you know from the beginning?
Oh no, I never know. I just I've become super weirdly comfortable by not knowing and then just kind of navigating a painting. And I kind of like that and just figuring something out as I go through the painting. Like for example, may not be popular opinion, but I love this hand. Danny looks super beastly, and I love that.
It looks like a paw.
It looks like a paw, yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember Mateiko. Jan Mateiko has a bunch of paintings, and they're called. They are these fantastical beasts, but I'm forgetting like what they're called. Oh, come on. So just no, not Mateiko. I'm sorry, Malshevsky. Jacek Malshevsky has. What are they? They're like sphinxes, but with wings. What would you call a sphinx with wings? You
Mm.
know, like body of a human, paws, wings. It has a tail.
I don't know. Maybe they're answering because I have no idea what to say. No, they're
I'll
not.
let me search and I'll So it takes me 2 seconds. So Malchevsky, let's say Fantastic Beast. That sounds a little Harry Potter, but yeah. Let me see. It looks like there aren't great matches for your search. Oh, but it's right here. It's right here. I just want to know what they're called. Because he calls them.
This one? No?
Yeah. Or this one. This one's like right there. Oh, that's chimeras. Oh, okay.
Oh.
So that's easier.
Yeah.
So a chimera. So it's a bunch of animals, a bunch of stuff like thrown together. Because I think like chimeras are not. Is it chimera or chimera?
So Gabriel Pozo was saying what you said, chimera, but I don't know if it's chimera or chimera.
So they can. Oh, could you post this one? Could you search for this one, Danny, and post it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Look at those paws. I'm dying here. Anyways, I remember seeing one of those in Poland for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so fucking cool!" But it wasn't
One
this.
of those.
Well, one because he has one. Well, not a chimera.
I was joking.
One of these paintings because he painted quite a bunch of these. It's not like he did 2 paintings. He did like 10 probably of these, and they're all incredible. And I just like the one I saw. I remember seeing.
You want this one, right?
Yeah. I think that's.
Is it? Do you know if it's more accurate, this one or this one?
No,
'Cause this
maybe
one's
that's a better reproduction. No, not that one.
This
that one.
one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably better. But I loved it. I absolutely the paws were very what do you call it? Like cat's paws that are very fluffy, like I don't know, bushy. I don't know how to even like
furry.
not a furry, like that they're very soft, like you could like cushiony.
Okay.
There's a word for that with
Cushy?
paws. What's that?
No.
Cushy?
No, pushy. Como si fuera push.
No, because it's like
Plushy?
cushiony,
Is it?
like boop boop.
Okay.
I think there's a word for a paw that speaks about that, but I forget. Anyways,
Mm,
I'm stopping a lot today.
that's fine. So here it is. Because it always takes me a bit to put the image on screen.
I think there's a direct one, Dan, and like because you always put them as images. I think there's one thing that you can put as a hyperlink, like as a link. One of those things.
In OBS?
Yeah.
No, because I could share the link also, like in the chat.
No, but I think that if you
But-
put the link of the image, like it will appear as
Oh
as
yeah,
the
no,
image.
but you know what's the problem?
What's
It
that?
takes me a bit because I have to rescale the image.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's why. Because for example, this one was super big. So if I just put it without editing the size,
And it's
it
not
would
like
be
one of those.
covering everything.
And it's not like one of the like that you can have a specific parameters already for that.
You can, but it depends of the size of the image.
Okay.
So if, for example, I have this parameter, and if it's a smaller image, it would be like a tiny
Oh, okay.
thing here.
Okay.
So it
okay.
doesn't
Okay. Yeah.
quite work like that.
That works then.
Jeannie Cadeau said, I love the Lamassu painting you did earlier. It
Oh,
was
thank you.
so
That was fun. Yeah, that was super fun to paint. See, that's like I'm torn, Danny,
Yeah. what?
dude, because I'm
No, never again, dude.
because I sound like the guy that the show that we're watching,
Yeah.
like how he talks to other
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
see, I'm super torn because, like I said yesterday, I want to do that show. Well, not show. I have to
What?
get that. No, I have to get that like that word out of my
Oh, no.
out of my
show,
brain.
Yeah, like art show.
Yeah,
Because you were saying the show we were seeing.
yeah.
And
No,
then
no,
you
no.
said I want to do a show, and I was
Oh yeah,
super
I don't.
lost, but
Yeah, no. Not a TV show. No, my acting skills are not are not that
Quite
good.
on point. Yeah.
No, not in 2022. So
Mhm.
I'll blame it on COVID.
Mhm.
But I want to do a body of work. Let's call it that. I think that's a little bit better.
Okay.
Um, based on. Do you remember that I was saying that I want to work based on my mother's, like my
Your mother's house. Yeah.
yeah, my home, like
Yeah.
my childhood home. And that sounds super attractive to me. Like that is 100% my painting. Like that
Mhm.
would be, there would be no doubt that I could do work that is just purely my own, like my story. This is my, my home. It would just kind of make sense. But there's this part of my brain that wants to do like, because I had a ton of fun also just doing, that, like for example that Lamasu painting, or when I did that the Lamada painting, the boxing painting again. Like for example, I've been dying to do more, like more of these weird boxing paintings, just really pushing form just to see how far I can take it, like
Mhm.
pushing just to kind of like experience the limits of those of that push.
Mhm.
um and I think that by pushing I could start doing like I could start to let myself do stuff like this little hand here that's just such a, I know it's such a nothing moment of the painting, but I like it,
Mhm.
and I like that I'm letting myself do these sort of things.
Mhm.
um but I don't think that those things would be present so much if I do the work um, based on my home.
But why don't you do both?
Oh, thank you, Danny. Yeah,
No, no, no. I
that's.
mean, I'm not saying like
I think it's gonna be different.
work and work. No, but I'm
I think I
saying
have to like put. I'm not saying I have to bet on just one thing, but I think it'd be super difficult to have like those two mindsets.
okay. Because I
Yeah.
thought maybe you could try and like do some things about your mother's house, but also like if you're getting saturated of doing it, you can change and
Yeah, but I
do
think
another exercise, not like having another show for that, but like just giving it a try. I mean,
no, I know, and that makes sense, but I think it's difficult to be super honest with you, because
mm,
if I'm doing like, if I'm gonna do, again, not, let's not just define it as larger work, but if I'm gonna do something that is um paintings that, let's call it, take more time
yeah.
to solve,
Mm-hmm.
um yeah, I think the jump would be difficult for me. For me, I'm sure
No,
there's
no,
people
and
that
it
can
makes
do
sense.
different sort of work all the time, but I certainly would feel a little bit like, oof, that's two very different mindsets.
But also, you know what? I
Like,
mean,
how I kind of explain it, and I'm sorry I'm
no,
interrupting you,
no, it's fine.
but I kind of explain it to myself super easily, the the fun side of me wants to do those paintings where I can just distort and just have fun with form, and the like artist painter side of me, I know what I'm saying. Like, I know that those are not good ways of describing, but maybe just to you know express the idea. Like, the more serious side wants to do the exercise, like wants to do the paintings based on my home. So I don't know which one I am.
But
I'm both,
but I would
but
also say that, I mean, you have more time in your life to do more things. I mean, you just have to choose one thing that you want to do right now, and the other can wait and you can do it later. It's not like you have to do all the things you would love to do right now.
yeah, I think that's,
So,
yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome.
That's a no. You're right. Like, that's the simplest and I think clearest answer. So thank you.
You're welcome. Gwen Moore was saying, I'm a fan of George Bellows' boxing paintings. Are you familiar with them?
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, I've always mentioned that those boxing paintings of mine are a mix of, I guess, Bellows, Steve Houston, Phil Hale, Giacometti. What am I missing there? Maybe. I don't know what else. I think that's it.
And Gwen was also asking before, what's the theme today? Any special colors or materials? So for this year, we're not going to have like like
Like
we did
specific,
before,
yeah, like
because
specific themes.
yeah, because we divided all the weeks in, was it weeks? Yeah, now I forgot.
Oh my God, Danny, where have you
No, yeah,
been?
we divided weeks into themes, but now no. I mean, now it's just like one line
Right, and there's
of
intent.
working.
Yeah, there's intent to the paintings. I think that for me, I started the stream by saying how I think I want to sort of go back. Well, it's not going back,
Go
but
back and modify at the same time.
go back and to the palette, to the nature of the palette that I really truly love, which is like a very earthy palette. So I think in my brain, I just wanted to push that today. I just wanted to make that super super clear to myself that this is like a path for the future. Like that, I do like, if you made me choose, even though it's not a matter of choosing, but if you asked me, um, my opinion regarding like all the stuff that we did, all the exercises that we did, um, like which ones I enjoyed the most, I would 100% tell you the ones that were like the grayer paintings or the sort of Zorn, when I was doing the Zorn palette paintings, because I've always felt right at home with that palette. Um, so yeah, so this is like a very well, not super emphatic, but at least for me, it just clears a lot of things up for me in my brain. Just saying, okay, this is what we're gonna go for this year. Like start feeling comfortable with this palette that you're going to push this year, because I do feel it's like a year thing. I don't want to. I don't want to be like. I don't want to feel regrets like, a month into painting this year and say, you know what, I miss the time when I painted with those fluorescent colors. No, I think it's a good thing to like commit to something and say, okay, this is what I'm pushing. I mean, I could change it and it's fine, but I don't want to do that.
So Jack Fran said, do you have a favorite brush? Do you go through brushes regularly or do they last long?
I think they've lasted. Probably the ones that I beat up the most are these little like cheap synthetic ones. They just lose their shape very very easily. They're not meant to keep their shape, to be honest. They're very very cheap. So, but I think these would be I don't know. They're all fine. They're all okay. So it's hard for me to say, okay, this is like my brush. No, I've kind of grown accustomed to whatever brush I have is fine, and also I'm always wary of not becoming super attached to like a brush or a brand, because if I can't buy it, if and you know uh, that is usually the case with not only brushes, with a lot of stuff, a lot of art stuff here in Bogota. Then I don't want to miss it. I don't want to yearn for it if I can't get it. Like, let's say I'm using a brush and whatever, I don't wash it for 5 days. I don't know. I'm just exaggerating, but I ruined the brush and I became super accustomed to using that particular brush. And I start feeling super insecure without it. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I much rather just say, okay, just let's go to the store, which for us it's a very sort of craft store or art store, and let's buy whatever brushes we can get, and that's the brush that we're going to use, and it's going to be totally fine.
Alejandro Morales said, Danny Nicolas, I felt asleep listening to you both,
Oh
and
my
you
god.
both were in my dream fighting a giant in a spaceship. All
What?
this kind of in a similar style to Ninja Scroll.
What? That's actually what happened. You weren't dreaming.
And in
That is
your dream,
literally.
did we win
Yeah, what happened?
or we
Did
were
we
dead?
beat the shit out of that giant?
Um, I remember the dream I had.
Tell them your
No, because it
dream.
was a terrible, because it was a nightmare, but I don't know why.
Yeah, I've never, you've never described nightmares like that.
Yeah,
So,
no. No, it was lame. So,
no.
because I had a dream that we were doing a stream and some museum has lent us some art. I don't know why, and we had it back home.
We're killing it.
And they gave us some pippin because I told you.
Horace
They were
Pippin's
like, yeah,
paintings.
no, and it was a drawing, which
Okay.
was weird,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a white piece of paper,
Yeah.
and it had like a tiny something, but you couldn't see clear what
Uh-huh.
was there.
Awesome.
And we were like, but what's there? And we were looking, and then my face appeared. But I'm saying this as you paint my face, and there's like three different my faces in the screen, but whatever. And my face appeared like in a devil, like clown, weird thing, and I was super scared. And you were like super cool with it, but the face was like moving, like just like staring at me and moving, and I was super scared. And you were like, "No, I don't see anything." Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
That was my nightmare. Yeah.
I don't know why it was a nightmare.
But I woke up super scared.
Could you see yourself in it?
Yeah.
Could you recognize yourself in
Yeah,
it?
it was me, but like a rotten me.
A
That's
rotten
weird.
you. Wow.
Yeah, but
Look
it
at
was
that.
weird because I had like bruises and
Oh wow.
it
That's
was
like
super
super beat
dark.
up.
Yeah. And that image was like looking at me and like staring and like twisting the head. No, it was
Like twisting
horrible.
like
No, like this, like smiling and like.
Oh, okay.
No, it was
Very
terrible.
yeah, super
Dumb. But for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
it was
like
terrible.
cheesy, nowadays horror movie.
Yeah. No, but for me, it was terrible. I mean, I was super scared. And I told you, and you were like, uh-huh, goodbye.
Yeah.
You just.
So I was my usual self.
No, because you were sleeping. I mean, I woke you up to tell you the story. So.
Yeah, I just thought it was going to be far more dramatic. But last night you said I just saw myself in a painting and I was a clown. And I was
And
like,
you were
what is
like,
going?
Are
I
you
was like,
scared of clowns? And I was like, no. And you're like, okay.
good night.
Yeah, and you went back to sleep. So, yeah. I don't know why you made me
Made you? What did I
made
made
me
you?
tell that horrible.
What? I didn't make
It
you.
was a dumb dream, but
Yeah, but I
no,
didn't
you
make you.
incentivated me.
No,
No?
not even.
You pushed me.
Pushed you. That's even worse.
You
Oh my God.
suggested.
Not even. I was like, "Oh, tell the story." Like you mentioned the story, and I was like, "Yeah, you should. If you want, you should tell it."
Okay.
Oh, Danny, like, you're forgetting that we have witnesses all over the place.
But they have to know that I'm like traveling my way into English words. So maybe what I'm trying to say, it's not what quite goes out. So
Yeah, right.
bear with me.
Yeah, right.
So Alejandro said, eh, you guys were getting beat up. Okay. But then
What?
you guys run like hell
Oh,
through the
the
streets
giant.
of Toledo.
What? We were in Toledo? Okay.
That's fun.
I've been to Toledo, so yeah, maybe.
I've never been to Toledo, so
So we could have grabbed the sword from Toledo because those are famous there. To beat the ogre, what is it? The giant?
are you asking me?
No, yeah, if you what was
A
it?
giant in a spaceship.
A giant in a spaceship.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have used some of those Toledo Toledo very, very famous swords to just beat the crap out of it. I mean, if he's in a spaceship, I don't think a sword will do anything. But if we're in Toledo, we have very, very little options.
Sasan said, talking about dreams, have you painted in your dreams before? I'm always in awe when that happens to me.
No, never. Can I say that? Never. Have you ever?
No, because also yesterday was weird because I never had a dream about streaming. I mean,
Yeah,
and you know what was weird? We were
everything.
streaming, yeah, everything, but we were streaming not here, but
What?
like, no, 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 not in this room, but we were in the bedroom,
Okay.
but we had all the setup there.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah,
That
because
was
I remember perfectly, you know, where we have the mirror?
Yeah.
That mirror was smaller
Okay.
and it was like up, like it was hanged up, and
Okay.
down the mirror we had the paintings the museum lent us.
Okay.
So yeah,
Wow,
I
look at that.
remember that. Um,
Yeah, but I've never. Um I have had dreams about art and like about like a I think I had like two of them about like an art heaven. This is sounding ridiculous, but
art heaven.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost as if I had died and this is what
You went to art heaven.
well, this is what like the art heaven would look like, and it was
Mhm.
full of like enormous like
Easels?
sculptures. No, no, no. It was almost like that you had time, like that after life
Like
you had
endless time.
and yeah, infinite amount of time, so you could use that time to do anything you want. And so there were a lot of people doing these like colossal sculptures, but there were other people doing these like smaller sculptures,
But that
and
sounds super cool. I
that
mean,
was
that would be an
super super cool.
amazing
Yeah,
heaven.
I remember like this is one of the dreams like super vividly remember. And the other one, and you know what was weird? Because I had them not back to back, but I remember having them like around the same time.
Mhm.
I remember I was like, I remember if it was a globe or if it was just a flat map,
Mhm.
but I felt like I was a giant and
Mhm.
I was
In a
traveling.
spaceship.
No, no, I was beating the shit out of two YouTubers. Um,
YouTubers.
Yeah, whatever. They're not YouTubers. I mean, they wish. And I was traveling through the world, but it's almost like I was looking down and I could see like the map of the places that I was like.
That
It's
you
almost
had
like
been to?
no,
Or
no, 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 no. It's almost as if you were like so big that you could look down upon the earth and you
Mhm.
could just like step like in 10 steps you could cross the world
and
like
kill
think.
like a
Oh no!
million people
Like it was super
by
abstract.
stepping.
Like yeah, nobody was like yet screaming. I didn't hear like
Well,
tiny
you
little
were too far
screams as I
away
was
to hear
stepping.
the scream, so.
Yeah, it wasn't like Horton hears like Nicholas hears a scream as I stepped on Chile. Like
Ay, Chile?
well, no, Chile. I was
Ah, I
because
thought
I
you said
remember starting
Chile.
from the south and just like stepping through the world. It was
Mhm.
crazy. It was like insane. It was really really insane. It was
Sounds
super
like a
cool.
cool dream.
It was super cool. It was really really cool. Anyways.
Mm,
Anyways.
Alejandro Morales said, it was weird. While in Toledo, it was more in a style of animation of Tintin.
What?
Probably because you were talking about different illustrators and comic artists.
A
Mm,
Tintin adventure. That sounds awesome.
Leo SSS said, damn, I wish I have more imagination in my dreams. They are so boring. I have cool dreams.
I have amazing ones. When I
Yeah.
remember them, they're amazing.
Yeah, and I have super scary dreams too. Like some boxes falling.
Oh my
No,
stop
but
it.
we're not gonna tell that story.
Yeah,
but-
with a clown with your face on it.
Um, Sergi,
Why would you mention stuff and you're like, but we're not gonna talk about
mean-
that. Don't mention it then. Then it's like my fault. It's like you're pushing me. You're pushing me to talk about this. You're forcing me. What did you say then? What was the other word?
you're Incentivating me.
Incentivizing, but
Okay,
yeah, it doesn't
incentivizing
matter.
me.
That's not even what I'm doing.
Sergi Arts dice, ay, creo que ayer no se pudo leer mi pregunta. Entonces la repitió.
A ver,
Dice,
Sergi.
¿cómo lidiaste con etapas en las que no entraba mucho dinero con la pintura? Es para un amigo. Y entre paréntesis, yo soy el amigo.
¿Es para un primo? Em, no, en esos momentos tenía el enseñar en la universidad. O sea, esa es la verdad. Tenía un trabajo que, digamos, puede ser el trabajo que muchas otras personas tienen con, no sé, otras prácticas que no necesariamente tienen que ser como de dentro del arte, pues, pero para mí era la práctica, estaba dentro del arte, pero pues en últimas era un trabajo eh, que lo disfruté muchísimo y lo respeté muchísimo, sí, 100%. O sea, yo no cambiaría esos 12 años que estuve en la universidad por nada del mundo. Pero también sé que pues son que son 12 años súper difíciles, con un montón de sacrificios. Entonces, sí, esos momentos donde no iban las cosas tan bien, mm, incluso era triste porque perdía un poquito la fe en lo que yo estaba haciendo y me convencía de que de pronto pues mi vida iba a ser simplemente como eso, como dar las clases y ser mal pago toda la vida. O sea, como no tener un buen sueldo y ya. Em, pues no sé, o sea, parte supongo que fue perseverar, pero también parte fue tener el coraje para decir, bueno, no, no más, y cuál es o sea, voy a decir no más, pero cuál es el plan que sigue después de decir no más. Entonces, eh, sí, acepté y agradecí mucho tener como esas alternativas con la academia en esos momentos, pero, pero sí, así que yo dijera que son perfectas, no, o sea, que era un trabajo maravilloso, no, pues de pronto personalmente era maravilloso, pero como trabajo, no, o sea, como un trabajo que uno quisiera que fuera mejor reconocido y 100% mejor pago, no, 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 no.
Mm, Callum was saying, if you could steal one thing from an artist about the way they paint, what would it be?
Uh,
For me, said Callum, it would be the way Phil Hale paints skin tones.
oh yeah, his Johnny Bad Hair is pretty amazing. Um, what would that be? Um, I know what I want to say for sure. It's like it has to do with like fearlessness.
Mhm.
So, and I think probably, I mean, I hate to sound like there's nothing new in anything I say, but to me, Rembrandt, he's like enormous. But I'm not gonna say like, oh, the light. No, no, no. Just the decisiveness of him, like putting down like his paintings are just the succession of incredibly committed strokes, like decision making. So
Mhm.
I wish I had that courage. So let's say Rembrandt's courage. I think that would be a little lame, maybe, but that would be mine.
And a contemporary one.
Contemporary one. Let's see. Oh, like Nicolas Amori's willingness to explore, to push. Yeah, for sure. Just his curiosity. Let's call it that.
Mm. Oh, Roslyn says, just joining. Hola, Nick and Danny and chat.
Hey, Rosalind. Super
Eh,
late. We're almost done. Come on,
yeah.
dude. Pick it up.
Um, Malvin y Tías dice, hablando de sueños, una vez soñé que iba a una feria y conocí a Nicolás y le compraba un libro de sus pinturas y justo cuando me lo iba a firmar despertaba. Fue muy triste.
No.
Ay,
No.
Malvin y Tías.
Ay. Eso quiere decir que nunca le debo
Eh,
firmar nada.
sé que nunca va a pasar y vas a decir y yo, Nicolás. Ay,
No,
no, qué feo.
pero es el universo diciéndonos
Que no hay que
cuando
firmar
nos
libros.
conozcamos, digamos cuando, Malvin y Tías, no, no sí. Cuando nos conozcamos, eh, o mejor, cuando nos conozcamos, no nos podemos conocer. ¿Mm?
No,
¿What?
pero pues qué.
¿Qué sonó?
No,
¿Qué dije? ¿What?
no, pues
¿Qué idiota?
sí. Em, no, pero qué triste.
Sí. No, y
Es
yo no
muy
soy
feo.
así además. O sea, yo soy todo lo opuesto.
¿Qué?
Pues yo me hubiera, si yo le hubiera dicho como,
Pero es que igual tú no hiciste nada, él se despertó.
pues sí, pero yo
Pues
en
Malvin y tía
sueños,
se despertó, yo no sé. Dije,
sí, pero el yo en sueños debería haber sido como, obvio se lo firmo y ya se lo firmé, y si no se lo firmé salgo corriendo para decirle, oiga, no le he firmado el libro. O sea, ese sería el yo sueños.
pues sí, pero si se despierta,
Pero
no
pues
tienes
estamos,
cómo ir corriendo a decir,
pero estamos
oiga, le voy
tratando
a
de
firmar.
hacerle Inception a Malvinitías para que de pronto el próximo sueño que tenga sepa, o sea, sea con esta nueva versión Nicolás Uribe.
O que se levante y sepa que el sueño habría terminado
¿Qué? Uy,
con
te
que
fuiste.
sí
Co-
le ibas a firmar el libro.
Uy, no, mi amor, ¿qué fue eso? No sé qué dijiste.
Pues es que tú estás
Un,
diciendo,
un montón de palabras, mi
no, no,
amor, pero
no. A ver,
¿esto
si
es
el
un
sueño
sueño?
se acabó sin que firmaran el libro,
¿Sí?
estoy diciendo
¿Sí?
que Malvin y tía sepa
¿Sí?
que si el sueño no se hubiera acabado, sino que si
¿Sí?
el sueño hubiera seguido,
¿Cuál Malvinitías? ¿El Malvinitías de este momento?
no, pero pues ya que estás hablando,
Pues no sé, es que estamos re meta en este
no,
momento.
bueno, yo creo que todo el mundo me entendió. Tú no me dejaste terminar.
Ah, uy, la
No me
salida
dejaste.
fácil. No, la salida
No, lo
fácil.
que digo es que sepa que si no se hubiera despertado en el sueño, tú le hubieras firmado el libro.
Pero
¿Cómo
que
se lo
sepa
hubieras
cuándo, en
firmado
un sueño.
que lo sepa ahorita? ¿Cómo así?
Ah,
Que sepa
no.
que si no se hubiera despertado de ese sueño, en el sueño le hubieras firmado el libro, ¿cómo lo harías en la vida real? ¿Cómo
Ya.
charlarías en
No,
la
ya te
vida real?
entendí. Estaba mucho más fácil. Es que
No,
pensé
pero
que
creo
estabas
que lo
hablando
estaba
como de otro
diciendo bien.
sueño.
No, tú te fuiste meta. Yo estaba diciendo algo súper aterrizado, fácil de entender. No sé qué te pasó a ti.
Pues la verdad estabas repitiendo lo que
No
yo
sé qué
estaba
te pasó a
diciendo.
ti, pero bueno. No porque tú dijiste que para otro sueño,
Pues sí, pero era la manera de
sino
decir que
porque yo decía que su... Bueno, no importa.
aquí nos podemos quedar media hora más.
Yo decía que supiera que ese sueño hubiera terminado distinto si no se hubiera interrumpido.
Mm,
El caso.
ujú,
El caso.
súper claro.
Roslyn said, I'm still catching up on sleep from the live.
I know. I think we're still not fully awake.
No,
I mean, the way Danny is speaking, I think that's
the way you're
uh,
interrupting. No,
no,
I was
that's
joking.
traditional. That's
Yeah.
actually
But I think I was explaining okay. You were just not awake enough to understand what I was
Oh,
saying.
right now you're saying?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
in the other dream.
Oh, there we go.
Um, Alejandro Morales said, Nicolas, just from observation,
Yes.
when you start the painting, it seems like you mix and paint the darkest darks of the scene.
Uh, is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I many times I don't know if the dark is dark, but I do like to have moments of like very specific moments of contrast readily available. So I do need my darks. I don't think I need my lightest lights because I usually tend to key my painting lower and grayer. So I think the darks tend to be a little more useful to me than lights.
And Alejandro was also asking, also, is paper the lightest value?
Paper in this
Like pure
particular
paper,
painting,
maybe?
I think in this particular painting, yes. Yeah. Not true for every single painting, but yeah, in this particular painting, yes, I think.
Pau, tú me enseñaste, Coco, a
No,
pronunciar
no, ella nos enseñó.
Tremoils, ¿era?
Ujú.
Sí, es que no quiero pronunciar mal. Pero entonces Pau de pronto me puede
Pues,
recordar. Porque yo siempre quiero meterle como el bailado como francés.
mm, Pues es francés, con seguridad.
Pues sí, pero en mi francés, o sea,
Métele.
meterle el francés de alguien que no sabe francés, entonces termino diciendo algo
Vale,
fatal.
vale.
Vale. Bueno, Pau dice, buenas chicos, igual ya lo han dicho, pero ¿qué colores hay en esta paleta de hoy? Es papel Moleskine A4 sin imprimar, entonces,
Sí, creo que sí a todo. Y hoy es una paleta mi tradicional. Entonces, blanco y titanio, este no lo estamos usando. Amarillo ocre, rojo cadmio, alizarín, ultramarino y tierra de sombra. Natural. Y el papel es, no sé si A4 es la mitad de A3. Digamos que es la
creo que
mitad
sí
de,
es porque es
no A4,
29 por 21,
no.
acá dice,
Y eso
lo que hacemos
es...
nosotros.
¿Sí? ¿Segurísima?
Pues,
Pues tú eres la que sabes en los permisos.
pues
Te
yo siempre
confío.
escribo 29 por 21 centímetros,
Ah, bueno, entonces sí.
pero
Sí,
acá dice, sí, 8 1/4 por 11 1/2.
sí, entonces sí, más o menos. No sé si exacto, pero sí,
ocho
más o
punto
menos.
tres por 11,7. Sí, entonces sí. Sí. Me enredé.
Ujú, ¿se enmesó?
Me enmesé muy bien.
Ujú.
Pero sí. Em, Sasan said, wow, that blue is beautiful.
Yeah, I needed it. It's super needed. I didn't want to need it. I didn't want to believe that I needed it. And then I was like, no, I gotta put it.
Malvin y Tías dice, lo tendré en cuenta. Si sueño otra vez con esa situación, intentaré recordar las metapalabras de ustedes para imaginarme que sí me firmas el libro. Y Pau, Tremuil.
Remuel.
Tremuil.
Ah, si le metes el
Tremuil.
tre, suena
Pero es que
inmediatamente, suena ya 10 veces mejor.
yo hubiera dicho Tremoils. Y ahí estaba mal.
Pero es que esa S nunca, sí,
Es,
esa S nunca se dice.
ay, qué pena, don francés.
No, pero pues uno sabe, pero esa
Pues
uno
yo no sabía.
sabe.
No, yo no sé nada de francés.
Pero por puro.
¿Qué?
No, pues ya voy a salir regañado
No,
cualquier
no,
cosa que
pero,
diga.
no,
¿Qué?
¿qué está diciendo? No, pero pues uno no tiene
Por
por qué
fútbol.
saber.
Por fútbol. Voy a decirlo así, así de fácil.
Bueno, ibas a
Por
decir
fútbol.
cultura general.
No, por fútbol.
Bueno, bueno. Y Pau dice, sí, sí, A4 es la mitad de A3.
Perfecto.
Eh, Alejandro Morales,
Sí.
when they were asking about the darkest dark and the paper as the lightest value,
Yeah.
they were asking, is that by design? So I don't know what specifically they were referring to.
That I work on something that's light, maybe, and the fact that I don't necessarily have a toned ground. Maybe that's what Alejandro's going for. Let's see. Let's see if that's it.
Mm,
I don't want to go for that yellow because I think it will change the whole painting if I go for that yellow. But I can go for that red, and the yellow can be like the most ochre thing that I can paint, I feel. So let's try to do that first.
you think it would overpower?
Yeah, I think it would just become a little too clown-ish, Danny.
Why do you say it like that? I'm not gonna feel bad. I mean, I love the sweater. So.
No, because of the clown in the
Oh, I was like,
nightmare.
why is
Oh my
he?
god.
No, because I thought you were talking about like a lot of colors. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. And I feel bad. This morning I told you I felt bad because I'm getting that it figure, the Hot Toys
No,
it
but
figure.
because
And I
I'm
was
not
like, oh my
scared.
god, is that gonna.
No, because I'm not scared of clowns. I mean, I've never
Yeah,
been.
I've never.
Never,
Like, you're
never.
more scared of pigeons than of.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. No, that's why it was weird because I've never been scared of clowns. So, not
Is
even
there
as a kid. So,
is there a word for like pigeon phobia? Would you say you have that?
no,
No. But you don't like them.
no, not that much. No, but I mean, they're pretty, but I don't
They're not pretty.
like,
They're everything but
no,
pretty.
no. I think they're
Yeah.
pretty.
No.
The thing is that I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
when
ugh.
if you say a pigeon's pretty, it's like, yeah, then every single animal on this earth is pretty.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. But they're not pretty.
So
Like,
it's not there's not a specific word for pigeons, but
okay.
there's ornithophobia.
Ornithophobia.
So
Okay, so
yeah, that
all
makes
birds.
sense.
Okay, yeah.
And there's a phobia of clowns.
Yeah, that one I don't think I know how um what that's called.
Coulrophobia.
What? What is that again?
Coulro
Coul?
RO phobia.
Coulro?
Coulrophobia.
What? What is that?
Hmm?
Like prefix? What?
My mom was super scared of clowns.
Really?
Yeah, because when she was a kid,
Yeah.
they broke into her house
What?
and
Who broke in? Like the Joker and his fiends?
no, wait. Uh, like ladrones, I forgot.
I know, like burglars. Like,
No, there's another word.
well, yeah, burglars. It's a
Okay,
burglary.
burglars
Yeah.
broke into her house and she had a like a super big toy of a clown and they
Yeah.
thought it was a alcancía, like
Okay.
a
Like a
piggy
piggy
bank.
bank?
Yeah. So they scratched all the face trying to break
She wasn't
the
there,
clown.
was she?
I
I've
don't know.
never heard
No,
this
I think
story.
no, I think she wasn't there.
Okay.
But then when she saw, like when I think she wasn't there because I remember she told me that when she entered the room
Yeah.
and she saw the clown, she was super scared because she loved the clown.
Also, they
So
busted the face up
yeah,
trying
like
to.
they use a knife to
Oh,
try to
wow.
like scratch the face to open the
Piggy bank?
piggy bank that wasn't a piggy bank, but like a toy, like a plastic toy. So yeah,
Oh, wow. I've never heard of that
yeah,
story before.
yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was super scared. And when there were like magic shows here, and we went when we were little, she was still a little bit afraid. But she was like, "No, I had to put like an adult face,
But do you
cause
think that's because she associated it with, like, robbers going into her house and, like, defacing this
maybe,
toy
or
she
maybe
had?
because she loved the toy, and
Mm-hmm.
she wasn't expecting to enter the room and see like a destroyed face of the clown.
Right.
So maybe it was like a terrible thing to see for a kid. So
Right. Wow.
yeah.
No, I didn't know this.
Yeah, you have
I have
to
to
ask
ask your
her.
mother. Yeah, I
Yeah,
have to ask your
yeah, she
mom.
can tell you. And she can answer if she was in the house, but I think they were
Oh,
not in the
I
house.
would have heard that story, I think.
Yeah. Um,
It does sound like a Joker, you know. I was just playing with the mentioning the Joker, but it does sound dark.
no, it was terrible.
Yeah, it does sound like a
I
dark
mean,
thing
and
to
I
do.
understand why that can leave a phobia in someone.
Well,
If you experience that as a child, I mean, that you can't understand what happened.
right,
So,
right.
um, Pau Tremuil,
Mm. Re.
Tremuil, no, no me sonó bien. Tremuil,
Mhm.
me
I think
sonó
that's
igual.
sí, mejor.
Dice, ¿hay algún hashtag especial para Instagram si pintamos o dibujamos a la vez que vosotros? Sí, sí. Incluso hoy nos preguntaron más temprano y dijimos que nos parece súper chévere si quieren usar el hashtag OurPaintedLives,
Sí,
que sí, creo que es la manera más sencilla
sí, sí.
para poder ver lo que la gente hace. Sea que pinten de la imagen de referencia o sea que pinten de sus propias imágenes, sería muy chévere. Roslyn said, I'm with Nicolas, pigeons are so ugly.
Yeah, come on. I know every single like living being in this
Mm,
planet is
yeah.
beautiful.
No,
Like
but yeah, I can't
every
be
single species, every single being, but come on.
I can't be near them.
Yeah,
Like, ugh.
I
They make
know.
me escalofrío. ¿Tener escalofríos?
Yeah, I've seen you like
¿Cómo se dice
scream,
eso?
like jittery or like um, yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't know how to say it.
I don't know what I would pick if I had to pick like an animal. Have you seen me like run away from like
But you don't like pigeons. I mean,
oh, I mean because
if a pigeon wanted
I
to
think the rats, but
land on you,
oh fuck it. No.
no,
No, I'll
don't be.
shush it. I'll like woo, get out.
No,
Get away.
no, because I told you, and my sister told you the story about the pizza that we were eating pizza out of the university, and there was a pigeon, and poor pigeon, because the pigeon was super sick.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and I was eating my pizza, and the pigeon was like landing, but like land and pushed my pizza to the floor. No,
Oh,
ugh.
dude.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was terrible.
god.
I was going to throw up.
Oh,
No,
disgusting.
it was terrible, and the poor pigeon had like a super big ball in the eye.
Oh my
And
god, how do you
no,
eat pizza again?
yeah, it was terrible.
No,
Ugh,
talk about trauma.
no,
Ugh.
no, it
Oh
was.
my god.
Ugh, yeah, it was
Forget it.
awful.
Yeah. Ugh.
Um, Pau,
But again, every creature is beautiful.
yeah.
But they are horrible.
Pau dice colombofobia.
No, pero a
No, ¿qué
nosotros,
es
¿qué está
esto?
pasando? ¿Qué está
No, sí,
pasando?
esa fobia sí.
Sí,
Aquí no
no,
me la traen.
¿cómo así, Pau?
Sí, no.
Si Colombia es el país más alegre del mundo.
Oye, sí salió eso, ¿no?
Sí, siempre sale. Yo no entiendo quién hace eso.
Un colombiano.
Sí, yo creo que es una persona en un blog. Sí.
Em,
Por 15 años consecutivo.
Y Pau dice, ok, ya lo hice ayer, jeje, digo hoy. No, no, o sea, lo que queremos es que sea el mismo hashtag para todos los días. Porque es que creo que sería muy difícil como Our Painted
Sí,
Lives,
chequear como...
sesión 232, como que, no sé, creo que es más fácil tenerlos todos en Our Painted Lives y
Ujú.
así poder verlos todos.
Claro que colombofobia también puede ser fobia a Cristóbal Colón.
A ver, o a las colombinas. Fue buen chiste.
Sí, te estás imaginando como
Oh
en un...
no! So it's the pigeon phobia.
¡Oh!
Colombofobia.
Ah, pero
Ay,
entonces sí,
Pau tenía
mira.
razón y nosotros, ¿cómo así? Eso no.
Sí, esto es contra los
Muy
colom...
mal.
Ah.
No, wait, what?
What?
No. So no. Because Colombophobia says pigeon keeping. Pigeon keeping or pigeon fancying is the art and science of breeding domestic pigeons.
Yeah, but that
No,
can't be a phobia.
no, pero dice Colombofobia.
What?
Ah, no, because it corrects to colombophilia.
Okay.
So, de
But
pronto
so...
Pau pensó colombofobia como colombofilia. Lo pasó a fobia, colombofobia.
Okay. But that makes sense.
Sí.
Porque tú hablas en español y yo en inglés.
Porque es que Pau fue la que lo dijo y lo dijo en español. Pero la definición estaba en inglés. Entonces tú seguiste hablando en inglés.
Ah, ya, ya, ya.
Pero sí. No, y Pau dice, no, colombofobia es la fobia a las palomas.
No, no,
Sí.
sí. Ya entendimos
Sí,
ya.
sí, sí.
No, y
Nosotros,
estábamos molestando
no, y
además.
pensamos que era un chiste como, pues, la verdad, un buen chiste, pero no. Pero no. Callum said, me and a friend stayed with a nonna on an exchange trip in Malaga. The house was full of dolls, and my friend was like, what's next? What? And my friend was like, what's next? The bedroom of clowns? And no joke, we had to hide all the clowns to sleep. Oh.
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
I don't know why people like
Keep clowns, collect clowns.
like creepy things.
I know. Well, they're not naturally creepy.
No, but when I don't know, because like super vintage dolls.
Yeah, they're kind of weird. But
Yeah.
you know what? But that never like weirds me out.
No, me neither.
I don't know
'cause
why
my
I don't know
grandma
what I'm
had-
scared of. I'm scared of people.
Mm,
Honestly. I'm not scared of stuff or like I'm just scared of like people, like
You know,
idiots and evil people.
I have a super weird Uh, phobia? No,
What's
it's
that?
not a phobia, but like I'm scared of a weird thing. But I was in convivencia. How do I say?
Oh, retreat or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we had to let like to do a trust fall that
Right.
like fall in the back,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and we were in andamios. I don't know
Oh,
how to
come
say
on.
that.
Yeah.
Like some stair, like construction stairs, and there was a saltarín. Sorry. Um, how do you say
I
that?
don't know. This is your story.
No, but help me out.
So, you were in bleachers and there was a trampoline.
Okay, yeah. Down to
Yeah.
receive us when we let ourselves fall.
A trampoline or like a colchoneta
No, it
or
was
like a mat?
like a sort of trampoline that
Okay.
people were like stretching because it was like a weird trustful.
So,
So you
like
were
one of
trusting
those.
the people that were receiving you. So they were stretching.
So like a fireman thing, like
Yeah,
that thing that the
something
firemen
like that.
use in
Yeah.
like 1950s movies.
Yeah, and it wasn't that high,
Okay.
and you had to let yourself like go
How
backwards.
high was it? Like, try to be super honest about this. You
Como like dos andamios.
no, like meters, like,
Mm,
or like that, like the
maybe like
ceiling? No,
yeah,
come on.
maybe.
No,
Yeah,
that's
of
not.
course.
No, I don't
Yeah,
believe you.
no, you have to trust me because we had to climb some stairs, and uh, like the people were raising the thing they were holding to support us when we fall.
Uh-huh.
So it was like 2 meters, yeah, and you had to let yourself like fall, and I couldn't let myself do it. Like I was shaking because I was like, oh, okay, fine, and I went up because I'm not scared of heights. But then when I was trying to go backwards, I couldn't. And then I realized when I went to the pool that I can't let myself go like backwards. If I fall in my face, like if I'm seeing what where I'm falling, I'm fine. But if I'm falling, sorry, with my back, I can't. I don't know why, but I can't. So yeah, I don't
Really?
think there's a phobia name for
No.
that, but
Oh, no, Danny phobia. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if someone has the same fear.
Oh, probably not.
Maybe, I mean, I never thought someone never understood the Sono Más de Papa, and
Yeah.
there were like 4 people
But I
that
think
day.
I
So
don't think that that's like because that's like a highly specific scenario. But we can sort of unpack this. Like, were you scared of I because I know you and I know that you trust 100% what you do, but sometimes and I love you, but you know that you don't trust what other people do.
yeah, but the thing is, I was
So maybe you just didn't trust those people that they were
no,
going to
no,
hold you,
no,
that they
because
were
I
going
was
to
telling you that then I tried to let myself fall in the back in a pool,
Yeah, but then
and I couldn't do it.
right, but maybe you were carrying like all that like
No,
anxiety from that moment
no, I
and
don't think so.
yeah, no, I'm sure that if we're in a pool, I could like, I could tell, come on, fall backwards. That's fine. You're gonna be fine. Like, and now that you're older and you're like, yeah, what's gonna happen? Nothing. It's
No,
water.
no, I can't.
Oh, I'm sure you
No, I think
can.
I can't. Yeah.
But I think that that's like a phobia that if it is about falling backwards, oh, we could totally do that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could help you get over that in like
No,
5 minutes.
no, because no, I don't want
I'm
to
not
be
gonna push
pushed. Yeah.
you. I'm not gonna push you. I would never push you. But I think I can totally because you can swim. You can totally swim.
Of course I can, but
I know, so you would be fine. I think that one's like a little. I think that one has more to do with trust than when falling. If
so
I had to play
so
like
there's a phobia,
uh-huh.
fear of falling,
Okay, but yours
but
is
it's
like
not
falling
mine. Yeah.
backwards.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was a weird thing I discovered that time. So,
No, we can get rid of that one.
you
You'll
know,
see.
maybe because remember I broke my elbow in a trust fall?
Okay, this was not with me, but
No, I was
yeah.
like
I thought you were going to
9
talk
years
about
old.
that
No,
story.
no, no, no. So maybe it has something to do with that.
Sure, yeah, you're scared of that.
Because I was doing like trustful, like
When
like
it,
going on front and back, front
yeah.
and back. And my friend at school that had to grab me back so that her teacher was entering the room. So she just run to class and I just fall back.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Danny, that's where it comes from.
Maybe.
You're just scared that like your idiot friend was just not there to hold you.
Yeah.
But it's not about falling backwards. It's just like the person that you trusted and you were like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm here. I'm going to hold you." They were gone. So,
Because we were doing that and like changing places. So I was like being the one that was supporting my friends when they were doing the trustful. And I don't know why when it was my turn, she was like, "Oh, I'm late to class," and she just walked
bounced.
away.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has more to do with this than anything, than falling backwards.
¿Cómo se dice
Because
fisurar?
in a pool,
¿Cómo se dice fisurar? Because
I
I
don't know,
didn't
like
broke my arm. I just made like a tiny hole.
fissure. I don't know. I don't know
Fissure?
what.
Yeah.
Yeah, the medical term for that is, but like a little break. But I mean, a fissure is a break.
Yeah, but not like it was.
Yeah, it doesn't break in two. It's not like a
Yeah.
clean break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
because with the pool, like the pool is not gonna move. It's not as if like you're falling backwards and the pool is like, I'm
Yeah,
out.
but
I am out.
No, but that's what I'm saying. 'Cause
Pool out.
I tried it a couple of times in a pool, and I just begin to shake a lot, like
Right.
and my heart like goes like a
Yeah.
million.
I think your body's just remembering that moment that you just fell and just, it hurt.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know why I was telling this story, but
No, we can work through traumas here. I like to play psychiatrist always.
So let's see what they were saying. Jean Rusin said, Danny, that was a smart decision. Way too high. No way I'd do that trustful.
Yeah, where is this place that you were doing? I've never done a trust fall.
I did some
Never.
like summer camps.
Yeah,
It was
what
in a
the
summer
hell?
camp.
Who does that?
No,
Like,
it was. I mean, everyone was doing it, and no one get hurt. So,
except you.
but in my heart. Eh, Pau dice, soy argentina de origen, ¿eh? Y dice argentinofobia. Eso
No,
tendría
nunca.
sentido, jajaja. Pues está
Nunca,
haciendo el
nunca.
chiste
Sí,
de
no, no, no.
colombofobia.
No.
Pero
sí, porque ¿no es en francés que las colombes son las palomas?
Sí, Miguel Fonseca dice colombe es paloma en francés.
Uy, Miguel y yo conectados.
Pues él lo había dicho mucho antes, pero no estás viendo la pantalla.
Pero yo
entonces,
estoy acá pintando.
Sí, conectados. Mi prima dice andamios, scaffolding, saltarín.
Scaffolding, sí, pero es que scaffolding sonaría que estabas en una construcción, en una obra.
Sí.
O sea, una caída como fatal.
Olivia says fracture. Yeah, like a tiny fracture. ¿Cómo se dice en serio? Fissure?
Pues fissure existe, pero es que fracture es romperse un hueso, o sea. I mean, if you fracture your bone, it's a broken bone.
Oh, it's a fissure, yeah.
Yeah, don't trust me, don't worry.
No, I trust you, but you weren't that
No, it's just your trust issues, don't worry.
Mhm.
Like I know about these.
SH.A said, no worries, you have Nicolas. He will be there to catch you if you try it.
I would never let her fall.
That's sweet.
Unless I'm late for class. Later.
Yeah, that was terrible. Who lives in the middle of a trustful?
Well, your friends,
I mean, 'cause
apparently.
they were like
your
bouncing
quote unquote
me.
friends.
They were bouncing me. So, yeah.
But how old were you?
No, I was like in 4th grade.
Yeah, they don't know. They're like
No,
when
but
you're a kid, you don't realize like, oh, she could break her back.
no,
You never think about those things.
terrible.
You could have gone like, are you guys there? Like, are you guys ready?
No, cause
And if there's no
no, cause
answer,
that's what.
don't
No, no,
fall.
no. Wait, cause that's why I'm saying I was like bouncing, cause they were like pushing me front, pushing me back, pushing, pushing. So I wasn't the one falling. We did like push, push. So you just let yourself go and go.
No, I don't
So
get that, but
so look at me and I show you. Like they push you front, and then this person push you back,
okay.
like this. So the person in front pushed me, and she was gone. So I just
No, I know that's
fall.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So, Sasan said, "I feel the colors you put down on her pullover accentuated the color of the smartphone in a nice way."
Yeah, it's so weird how one bit of color can actually echo another moment of the painting, or can have like um, a direct. It's not affectation, the word. It affects like another area of the painting. So yeah, it's amazing. Color works in like beautiful, mysterious ways.
Alex Gonzalez was saying,
You, Alex?
was saying,
Yes.
"Are you all going to do more time-lapsed voiceovers videos, or are they all gonna be live streams this year? Love the content, by the way." This year we're gonna have live streams.
Yeah, it's just a bit easier for us
Yeah,
to
to handle
produce.
times.
Yeah.
So yeah. Mm,
I mean, we've said it. We hope. I'm sure that there's gonna be people like, oh, that's a shame. I don't have time for that, and we know, like that's not gonna be the perfect answer for a lot of people, but it is the answer for us. I feel
yeah.
so. Yeah. So that's what we have to do.
Um, Kim said, "I don't disagree on your position on learning anatomy, but do you think there is something that every visual artist needs to learn? No escape?"
Ooh, that one's interesting.
I have something
Oh, what do you think?
like to be constant, like to work and work and work. Like,
So a work habit to you is more important than one specific like trait, like learning
yeah,
composition
because if
or
I'm
anatomy
thinking
or.
like in all the spectrum of artists there are,
Mm-hmm.
I would say, yeah, like being constant with what you do.
Yeah, it's just I find it hard. Like I would have no reason for saying, oh, not anatomy, but composition for sure.
Mm.
Like let's say that I pick composition, or that I pick, I don't know, design, which is, well, that's kind of composition, but um or working from life, let's say. Definitely everyone has to go through working from life. I don't know, like at some point those are all super important. So it's really arbitrary like why I would pick one over the others. Like if you're going to pick one, might as well pick all the others then. Then just tell people, "No, you should draw from life and paint plein air and learn about composition and learn about design and learn about gesture and learn about, anatomy, learn about perspective." Why stop? Like really, why would you stop at one?
Yeah.
Um, so I don't think I can come up with one out of all those that would be the one. I don't know. I don't know.
Mm, RWCC said, "I'm so happy about the book Kickstarter, guys. Can't wait."
Oh, awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Tim said, "Discipline." I like that answer,
I
Danny.
like it too. I actually like it way, way more than anything that I could come up with. Because being disciplined is like that can that can get you closer to what you want to say. That
Whatever
can get
what you
you,
want
yeah, that can
is.
get you closer to understanding yourself.
Yeah.
That can get you very close to landing a job. Like, if you want a job in any industry, honestly, they want consistency. They want to know that they can depend on you and that, you're always going to work at the level that you exhibit. So I think that that's probably the most useful one. Yeah, just be consistent and work.
Yeah, and Tim was saying, any tips on how to be constant? Like,
Oh, self-discipline. Ooh.
but like, keep going. Because I've speak for myself that
Mm.
I had the problem. I had a terrible, like, thing that I did, and it was that I got frustrated with what I was doing, and I just like stopped doing it. Like, I never finished what I was trying to do. And that's not good because you're not really giving yourself time to learn. You're just quitting because in the first two brush strokes you don't like what you're seeing. So, like, push through it. And, like, make it a part of your everyday, I would say. Like, try to make it a part of your everyday. I don't know what you would say.
Um, yeah, it's such a weird. I think that's one of the toughest things about us artists, like self-discipline. It has to be one of the toughest ones. It really, really is. Um, ooh. I mean, for some people it works having like a specific time to work, like telling yourself, I'm gonna wake up early and I'm gonna start at 8 or whatever, 7:30, and I'm gonna stop at 5, and that's my day. Like I have to every single day like honor that schedule, like keeping
Hmm.
schedules or keeping
Keeping
or telling
track.
yourself, yeah, that I started this and I have to finish it for, like, let's say you're going to do an animated, like a painting, you're going to paint a background for an animation and you're going to say, no, I want to do one a day. I want to be able to do one a day, or maybe you're starting and it's one every 2 days and or one every 3 days, but you want to get better and you want to be able to do one a day, and you have to sort of keep tabs on yourself and say, I have to finish this one, even if it's not the best job that you'll ever do. You have to finish it. um I don't know, for me it's, I think that I've just always been responsible. I've always kind of, I'm not saying that's an enormous like trait, but I've always been responsible. So that part is not super hard for myself. um like sitting down and working, it's not super hard for myself. But and it sounds super super like cheesy, but to me it's not work. Like if you're enjoying it, it then never feels like work. It really never does. I think something as dumb as just us doing the 24-hour thing, it would have never worked if it felt like I was straining myself, like I'm pushing myself outside of something that I feel naturally for painting just to do it. No, I know that I'm fully, without knowing that I was going to be okay doing it. I knew that I was going to be okay doing it just because it's painting. It's like, you know, even if I do a horrible painting, I'm going to say painting is easy for me. Even if it's not the greatest of painting, like it has nothing to do with what ends up being like the resulting painting. Like painting for me is just a, like insanely enjoyable. Even if I'm frustrated, even if I end up not doing the painting that I wanted to do, that I originally had set out to do, it doesn't matter. Like for me, painting is just, it's just one of those things that it's like, this is what's good in the world. Like this is what's nice and beautiful in the world. Again, not my painting, but just what you can gain through painting. So if you told me like, oh, you're gonna have an opportunity to paint every single day, I'd be like, hell yeah. I like, that's my life. That's the life I choose. Like I would love that life. So yeah. So if they're giving you an opportunity to do something that is so wonderful, like you don't really have to push yourself to do it. You really don't have to suffer through it. So yeah, maybe discipline is a little bit easier when you kind of teach yourself that this is something that goes beyond just being a job, that it's just a way, in my experience, it's just that this is where I feel comfortable, like at peace. I don't know. that's why we can talk at the same time and work, and it doesn't feel strenuous. Yeah. So I think that can get you closer to just saying, wow, you know, it's now what seemed to be this thing that it's like, oh God, I gotta wake up early, like almost like going to the gym. People that dread going to the gym, but every day they still go to the gym. This is not kind of. I don't think this is kind of that. I think this is a little bit. This like easier even. It's a lot easier if you teach yourself how to understand its worth. I feel.
Yeah, but also I would say it's not always as easy because you're facing your own obstacles to
Mm-hmm.
reach what you want to be as an artist. So maybe that's why a lot of people don't um like they don't let themselves be super disciplined because they're just feeling like they're failing every time they try to paint or draw or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like super difficult to like to know that you have to push through even though you're feeling miserable for not reaching what you want to be. But I mean, if you never push, you would never be like better. But not better because we said that. Like you wouldn't be close to what you want to be. So,
Yeah, and that's maybe I totally agree with you, but that's maybe why I suggested just teaching yourself how to be, and that's why I said it doesn't matter, like regardless of the quality of the
yeah.
painting that in the
No,
end,
no,
or
and I'm 100% with you. Like,
that maybe if you teach yourself about the worth of it
yeah.
without understanding that it has to be result driven,
Yeah.
then maybe it's a lot easier to just say, okay, this is like, I'm not going to judge every single experience by the quality of this painting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to understand it as being immensely valuable. And if it's enriching, then yeah, it's going to feel amazing. Like, nobody has to force you to do it.
Um Jean Brusin said, non artists always think talent is the most important thing, but talent gets you nowhere without lots of hard and constant work. And Sazan said, take Kanye West, for example. He doesn't constantly draw, but when he does some sketches, he's quite good, funnily enough. He's not constant, but when he draws, I understand him as a visual artist. Rosalind said, painting slash working every day means accepting failures. That's pretty important to embrace. Sergio G said, the secret is to paint whenever Danny and Nicolas are streaming.
Well, as with everything, it's easier to do things in company than alone, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, and if you can use this as your excuse to work,
Yeah, we'll be
that would
here.
be amazing. Yeah, we're always going to be here. So,
Well,
always, we
as,
would always try to be here.
yeah, well, as much as life can,
Yeah.
if life can let us be here, we'll be here.
We're gonna be here for as long as we can be here.
There we go.
Better?
Yeah.
Mike Richins said, I've always loved the quote from Chuck Close. And it says, quote, inspiration is for amateurs. The rest of us just show up and get to work. If you wait around to the clouds to part and a bolt of lightning to strike, you, in the brain, you're not going to make an awful lot of work. All the best ideas come out of process, they come out of work itself. Mm, eh, Mauri Hitner dice, ¿cuál es el mejor libro o la manera para aprender composición? Gracias.
A mí me gustan mucho los de Framed Ink. Pues hay unos súper tradicionales que se consiguen que se pueden conseguir ahí en internet porque ya son como de, ¿cómo se dice eso, Dani? De coso,
Public domain.
sí, dominio público.
Ay,
Eh,
¿yo por qué respondí en inglés?
no, pero es que creo que se traduce igual. Que son los de Loomis, Andrew Loomis,
¿Mm?
y esos son fantásticos. Eh, pero si quieren comprar uno, creo que los de Framed Ink son fantásticos. Son realmente fantásticos. Sasan, have you? I don't know if Sasan is there, but maybe.
Yeah, I think
Sasan, do
they were
you
here.
own the Framed Ink? I'm trying to suggest the Framed Ink books for somebody who's interested in composition, which I think they're fantastic. So maybe if somebody here owns that book, they can sort of back me up on that.
Mm, Ivan Asimov
Mm-hmm.
dice, sorry, Nicolas, Danny, great stream. Really enjoy the atmosphere. I have a question.
Sure.
Nicolas, how do you learn to control your brush strokes? Is it just a matter of practice?
Yeah. I mean, brushstrokes is just a tough one, right? It's hard to um, disassociate the like the brushwork from the act of painting. I feel, but yeah, brushstrokes will fall into place along with you know with painting. So if you're just painting, if you're just concerned with painting, for sure you're going to start to understand the character of your brushwork, and the more you understand that character of your brushwork, then you can sort of work on that while you're applying strokes. But yeah, it's like everything else. It just takes a little bit of time. That's all it is.
Albert said, I like the live streams. I feel like I have the option to engage with you guys more better. The interaction with audience to creator is much more closer with the live streaming.
Yeah, that's we talked about this with Danny quite a
Yeah.
bit, and one thing that we just hadn't anticipated when we were doing the videos, because we didn't really know if a lot of people were going to watch them or if it was just going to be a handful,
Mm-hmm.
or if the channel, I mean, we had some expectations for what we were doing, but there were always like tempered expectations, because it is very traditional painting, and this is not something that's like hot. This is not something that's like, oh my god, it's super super cool, or it can be like viral, or so we always thought that it's going to be a sort of small community, and hopefully it will be people that enjoy what we're doing, and that we always thought, like, we never felt that it had an academic character. We were far more comfortable thinking that it had like a human character.
Yeah.
It was just about like us as partners, as a couple, and we're doing this project together.
And we're sharing it.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
and we're sharing like that experience with whomever wants to have that experience with us. That really was just about it. And the truth is, we didn't expect there to be like a super kind of healthy community, because I
Yeah.
think we are a healthy community. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think too.
when it gets larger and larger, you don't really. I mean, you can never control what people believe, or what people can say,
No, but
and
I would
bigger
say,
communities need like moderators and all that stuff. But I think
yeah.
there's something really nice about just a small community, because you kind of feel that the people that are here is because they want to be here. Like, nobody's forcing anyone, and everyone kind of understands why they're here.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm very sure, like, if we were adamant about finding like differences between all of us, of course, like, there's going to be millions and millions upon millions of differences between us. But I think we're all okay just saying, hey, you know what? We all paint. We all find some sort of solace in painting, and that can be enough of a bond between us, and that's super cool. That's super super cool. So we thought, why don't we put the spotlight on that? Why don't we
Yeah.
start to answer to that community that is being slowly generating.
Yeah.
And it's fun. For us, it's amazing. It's super fun to just, instead of talking into like this empty mic and just seeing views but not really understanding if people are enjoying it or not, or how they feel about the videos. Like, this is super cool. Like, we can't hear you guys, but
We're
you have a sense
interacting.
of, yeah, you have a
Yeah.
sense of the humanity that's behind like usernames.
And this is like having a conversation with you guys. I mean, you're not listening to the voiceovers that were like some sort of monologue,
Right.
but
Yeah, very much a monologue.
yeah, but we're having a conversation, so that's super cool. And I think that's one of the things that we have enjoyed the most of the streams we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Adrián Salazar dice, Nicolás, ¿eres pintor slash ilustrador? ¿Cómo describes tu
Mm,
trabajo?
pues ilustrador de corazón, pero digamos que mi trabajo es más como un pintor que como ilustrador. O sea, yo tampoco puedo mentir y yo no he hecho ilustración hace ya mucho tiempo. Pero pues yo creo que tengo el corazón de ilustrador.
Um, Sasan said, I actually don't own it, Nicolás, but I will look into it. Tim said, for composition, you can look at Edgar Payne's book and The Painter's Secret Geometry too.
Okay, those are super like traditional ones. Yeah, and I was suggesting also the Loomis ones, which are very, very good. In Gumroad, there's a lot of people that have a lot of digital artists that are so good, so good, um, and they do a really good job at explaining, composition too. So yeah, there's a ton of resources for that. Um, I think that if you're looking for a book though, for like a publication, yeah, I think the framed ink one is very good because it's about storytelling through frames. It's almost like storyboarding, and I think storyboarding is like 100% composition. So, yeah. So, Danny, I think I'm sort of done. I feel
I think I love it.
you like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It
just
feels a lot like me. So
oh,
I
that's
really
awesome.
like it.
That's awesome. I always enjoy when you if you like I was gonna say if you genuinely say that, but no,
I
I know
always
that
say,
every time you like
yeah.
if you say something, it's genuine. Um, but um, I wasn't gonna need all of this, and I think the painting is better because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
I was
gained a
holding off.
lot
Yeah, I was
with it.
holding off from doing like all these little things, but I think like it's a super abstract moment of
Yeah.
color, of chroma that the painting didn't have, that it really needed. And I think a lot of these, because they're geometric in nature and I don't know, they're kind of simpler, they make this feel easier.
Mm-hmm.
I think when this wasn't there, those little decisions I made for the hand felt kind of weird. They felt like, okay, if you're going with that, fine, but they felt a little strange.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they feel weird at all now. I don't think they feel out of place. So I'm happy that's a decision I stumbled upon. Let's call it that, because I really wasn't going for that. It
Mm-hmm.
just happened to be there, and I'm happy that I kind of recognized that I needed it, and I kept going as soon as I saw that it was working. A lot of times, that's how paintings work. You may have an intent, and you can be very stubborn and push your intent and force it upon your painting. And other times, the painting itself can be like, hey, I know you're going elsewhere, but maybe if you try to do these little things, it can make for a better painting. Um, and yeah, so I think I'm happy.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with it. It went places. I think it really changed as I was painting it. It's a very strange painting to sort of model,
Mm-hmm.
and it's weird because it's super simple. I mean, it's just your portrait, a hand, and that's about it. And it's kind of surrounded by these more abstract shapes.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know why it just made me stop in so many moments and made me kind of reflect upon what were the things that working and what were the things that weren't working. So, but I'm glad that I stuck to the very gray. This is like super dirty, a little bit more reliant than what I would have wanted, I guess, on some of the drawing marks, but that's okay. Like I give myself some leeway when I'm when I'm a little bit lost in terms of modeling or just brushwork, to have a few drawn marks to help me kind of find my way. Um, but I'm happy that my intent to honor the palette that I want to work with is something that I fought with today, or fought for today. I think that's probably better, because I thought of like look at that, the bismuth yellow is like right there. Like it would have been so cake just to say, oh come on, put that yellow there. Like stop it, put some yellow there, and it's nice. It's gonna feel nice. And I just didn't want to do it. It wasn't the painting to do it. It's I don't like when a color, when a just this almost like foreign chroma saves my butt, because I wasn't able to balance the painting elsewhere. So I'm fine with the chroma. Look at that, Danny. Like that's ultramarine blue. That looks crazy. I don't know how it looks on screen.
Because it
Well, that
looks,
looks super light on screen.
yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Also, the hair,
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
super
super like,
light.
no, and bluish.
Right. No, we should what should we try to do?
I can change the temperature, maybe
No, I think it's more of a matter of
light,
maybe using, no, I do have a and I don't think it's on.
the
Or is it on?
polarizing.
I don't think it's on. Yeah, like a polarizing filter. I do feel I have it. I don't know if it's there. If I think it's in the closet,
Mm,
but maybe for tomorrow we can use the
yeah.
polarizing filter to see
Okay.
if that fixes a little bit. Because yeah, maybe a lot of this is just light bouncing off, and it's just it bleaches the painting quite a bit.
But
But
you
yeah.
can see the, like, maybe if you take a picture for
Oh yeah, yeah.
later.
So yeah, when you see it on Instagram, it's probably like a little bit of a shock because it does look and feel a little bit different. But yeah, just again, it's painting. It's weird. It's for some reason we are more confounded by the fact that a painting looks very different from, when we look at it from life or when we look at it from reproductions. Honestly, we should be more of like thinking like of painting like a sculpture, that it is going to be vastly different when you see it from life, like vastly different. Like even though you're flipping, through a book or you're looking at a screen, those are two interpretations of like two dimensionality, and the painting, even though it's a piece of paper, it just doesn't sit well in the way that a book or a screen represents it. So honestly, like this coming from a painter, but all of you guys that have enjoyed paintings, probably that you've seen at some point or that you saw at some point, many times in reproductions, and then you finally see it. It's always like, oh my God, like it's always gasping when you finally see it. So yeah, we always say with Danny, we do the best of a bad job to try to be faithful with what we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, our setup could use some TLC and some investment. We'll see what things we can work, we
Yeah,
can
but we're
fix.
going bit by bit. So
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. So I could understand if this was like a patron and people were like paying us and they were like, "Hey, dude, we expect the setup to be a bit better," or you could have like uh what was it called? Like in Patreon, you have like, oh, if yeah, like tiers. Like if we hit, I don't know, $10,000 a month, we'll buy a new camera and new lenses and new lights, and we can have we'll set up this space so it can so it looks amazing, and then you get, I don't know, you get 10,000 people giving you $1 a month to have that, then you do have a responsibility with everyone to do that. Uh,
yeah, but
yeah, but
with
we don't.
no, and
In
with
the
the
good sense, I'm not saying this as if we're free of responsibility from you guys, but in the greatest of senses, like we don't. Like we're doing this just to hang out with you
no,
guys.
and I was gonna say with the money of YouTube, we could buy like a moleskin,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah, yeah. It's
also
not. It's not. Yeah, the monetizing of our videos. Yeah, and it even went super down. A lot of people that are saying like, oh, you should have kept the edited videos. those do better than live videos. Live videos, we don't get like we get like $6 maybe,
Because also
$5 for this
we
video.
can't only monetize at the beginning.
I know.
So-
So yeah, so it's pointless. Honestly, it's like super pointless to monetize like a live video. So so no. So it gives us freedom. You
Yeah.
know, I always feel that to do what you want to do,
Yeah,
to
and
feel
let's say
comfortable.
we'll improve bit by bit. As
Yeah,
said
we will.
before,
We will try.
The first step is changing this mic.
I know.
I bought the console today.
Yeah, the Scarlett. We have a Scarlett studio. I have a Scarlett studio one with
and
a little
I'm gonna
console.
have the same one
So Danny's gonna have exactly the same.
with an arm, so I don't have to have the
Yeah,
tripod and the cookie jar when I
Uh,
need more height.
nice.
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
going bit by bit.
Yeah, ghetto streaming. Anyways, that's
Thank
gonna be
you,
it for
everyone,
today.
for joining us. And remember, if you want to share the process of what you did today with the
Hashtag 28 is 4.
Nah.
What?
with
4 is 28. 4 is 24.
with the hashtag or
Hashtag.
that would be cool. So we can see
For
it today
life.
before we go to sleep. So
Thank you guys.
have
We'll
a
see you
great
tomorrow.
rest of the day. Thank you for joining us. Bye.